do? What it
Dude,
do?
welcome in.
Welcome in.
What's good, Avery?
What's good,
Good
stars? What's good, Mom? I don't know
why it's got the emails in the chat
versus having freaking versus
having
their your usernames.
why it's doing that. But it's whichever.
It's whichever. Hi, dude. Mom. Yeah, he said hi.
Alright.
Man,
I see that. We got a video, a debate that we're gonna react to between Destiny,
who's
the political debater, and Myron Gaines, who, if I'm not mistaken, he's an ex-cop, turned YouTuber, but does all different types of YouTube videos, whether it's political, whether it's economical, whether it's law and crime. I think he does a variety of different videos from what I've seen before. I'm gonna wait for a few people to get in here and get the chat going, and then we will switch over to it. So just gonna let a few people pile in here, see where everybody else is. What?
That probably a lot of people on this side probably know him.
I'm not sure. They know who he is because of his face.
It's hard to hear me. It's hard. Like you're having a hard time hearing me right now. Well, hopefully the video will come
through just
fine. And
let me see if I can turn the audio up. The audio is up. What up, Carnage?
Trying to make sure. You guys hear me just fine?
Properties. Hopefully everybody can hear me just fine.
Static echo.
For real? Oh, let me see. Let me put it up here. Put it over here. Mute the guys. Try to hear it. Alright, what's the audio coming through now? So, the audio. It is echoing for sure.
See if the echo makes noise.
Okay, and default. What's default? What default is? See if default's better. You hear me at all? I wonder if it's the non-foods. Turn my phone on. See.
Can you hear me at all now? Can you hear me at all now? Can you hear me at all now? Sounds like it's coming through now. Can you hear me at all now? That's a lot better. Alright, I think my Bluetooth headphones. Can you hear me at all now? That's a lot better. Alright, I think my Bluetooth headphones. Can you hear me at all now? That's a lot better. Alright, I think my. Is it like repeating itself on you for you guys, or is it actually working? Yeah, I think that's what it was. Everybody can hear me now? Alright. So now I'm going to get the video up. Hopefully it works out just fine because I'm going to be playing it, like, not through the system. So let's see here. Let me get the... property. Alright, so display capture properties. Let me see. Windows. Bam. Try to get this up here. Screen it. Okay, add caption cursor. Alright, continue. Alright. So you guys see the audio, see the video. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the video now.
Regardless of what you feel, Trump is politically fucking
Let me
retarded.
know if you guys
Like,
can
he
hear
picks
it.
way too many fights. He can't focus on anything. He doesn't know how to get, like, PR wins. The big issue that I have is that when the left, like, fights against him, like, ICE is important. Like, a border is important. Having, like, an actual immigration...
Do we talk about the recent events, or
Let me get to the... Alright.
do we talk about the recent events, or just overall?
Yeah, I mean,
so the guy
I
over
guess
here,
I can start with my like
Destiny.
overall position, and then we can
Guy
go
over
into
here is
specificities. I guess
Myron
with maybe the
Gaines.
last conflict that one happened.
I mean, there's, like, big parts of... You've got the recent war, whether it's a genocide. You've got... Is Israel... Do they have a right to exist as, like, a nation of Jewish people? You've got U.S. and Israel entanglement. Like, where do you want to...
Okay, I guess I'll kind of come from the position. I think we should stop all aid to Israel from the United States. My position is I don't think we should be giving them aid. And there's a
Marty,
multitude
you
of
telling
reasons
her to
for
put
that, but
earmuffs
that's my
on?
position in
Is that
general.
what
Is
you're
we
doing?
should not be giving any more foreign aid to Israel.
Okay, my position would be, I think that the Middle East region is still probably an important region to have influence over.
Okay.
For purposes of like oil shipment and oil refining, and also for trade through the Suez Canal. So I feel like having a lot of influence in that region is important. And if we leave, then we're kind of just giving it up to somebody else.
Okay. Good points. I would say with the Suez Canal, we kind of already have that under control because we've basically bribed Egypt by, giving them a lot of aid, to play nice with Israel. And then as far as, maintaining security in the region, we're cool with pretty much everybody else. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the countries that have some real influence, especially Saudi Arabia. So I would say, I think Israel's hurt us quite a bit in the region versus assist us. I know, people say, oh, well, they're our greatest ally or whatever. I think doesn't have to be Israel. I think there's other Middle Eastern countries that we can work with that wouldn't create as much of a tumultuous situation that we have.
No, I'm going to have to pause the video for me to talk. So the audio, because it's all going through my webcam microphone. So instead of it playing through the system and y'all hearing an echo on it as well there, I'm just playing it and letting it run through my microphone from my camera. So I'm gonna have to pause it for me to take my talking points. I'm trying to figure out what the name of the show that this is on, but I guess the debate is mainly on Israel/Palestine.
Have in the Middle East. Can I have a pen and paper too, if that's cool?
Yeah.
And it's labeled as an explosive debate. So we'll see as we get into it. Once it gets to the
I don't see who would, like, you mentioned that we're cool with, like, Saudi Arabia and other countries in Egypt as well. I think a lot of that is a function of probably Israel's strength. For better or for worse, over the past 6 months, they have managed to fuck up basically every other regional opponent. And I think that even though publicly they have to pay lip service to, chastising Israel over the Palestinian issue, Saudi Arabia and everybody else is happy to watch Iran.
I don't know if it's just me, but he talks fast. Destiny, he's speaking fast.
To get this shit pushed in. The people in Lebanon aren't big fans of Hezbollah. They're happy to watch their shit get pushed in. Yemen
And he likes talking about people getting their shit pushed in, which is kind of crazy.
is perpetually fucked, so no one anywhere cares about what's going on there. So I feel like even though right now, obviously we made nice with Egypt and Israel.
Right now, Donald Trump got a peace treaty with them. They're in stage 1 of the peace treaty, as far as I know. I don't know if they've made it to stage 2 yet, but they're still trying to get Hamas to de-weaponize, from what I'm understanding. I don't know if that's happened yet.
So that they would make nice with each other. If we were to extricate from there and then pull all of our support out, I see like the possibility of like a Russia or a China coming in and then playing nice with them, and then obviously the incentives change dramatically. and I would be worried about losing that influence there.
Okay, I see your position. I think going back to you said that Israel being a powerhouse there. I don't think they are as much as you think. It's it's either we destabilize other countries or we bribe them, right? So like with Jordan and Egypt, we pay them quite a bit of money to play nice with Israel, right? Because that saves us money in the long run. Because at least the two countries on their border, on the south and on in the west, we don't have to worry about them like invading and attacking them. Obviously, we've got the problems in the north with Lebanon, but I do think a big part of the reason while we have these alliances is really more for us to, pay these people off so they don't attack Israel. Whereas like if Israel wasn't there, we wouldn't have to, be bribing these guys to give them money so they don't attack Israel. So it's either we destabilize and destroy them or we bribe them with money like we did with Jordan and
I mean, to be fair, those we call them bribes, but that came after Israel won basically 4 wars against all of these countries.
with our aid.
Not until 73. Like Israel won 48 basically on their own. They, the Suez Crisis in 56, they won on their own. In 67,
No, well,
they won.
they kind of lost the Suez Canal crisis, though. They kind of got ran out.
No, absolutely not.
The Suez Canal crisis?
Absolutely
The
not.
U.S. told them you got to leave.
Exactly. They got run out. The U.S. told them to fuck off.
Yeah, they
But didn't. It's not because Egypt beat them. Nasser and Egypt would try to claim later on that they did, but it's because the U.S. told them like, hey, you guys are
yeah. Because
so, but I'm saying that like they had the military might, they beat everybody around them. Like,
well, they had France and they had the UK with them as well, and they kind of came in.
They were getting $3 billion.
There you go. I was trying to make sure nobody's head was cut off in the camera.
Yearly drops like they get now from the United States.
Well, yeah, but and that's the thing. Like,
but also like all the Arab states were getting helped by the Soviet Union and everything too. Like they were constantly resupplying these guys because they had an interest there.
Well, so with the Suez Canal crisis, right? Like we obviously this was.
Man, Israel is strong because of the United States. Israel's known for their intelligence more than their strength. They're good at spying and having good intelligence and intel on different places. But their intel led us to bomb a country that they said had mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction. They never did. But that's a different debate at this point. Yeah, the whole Israel Palestine thing for me, I have different opinions on it probably than both of these guys. But we'll see what they say, and then I'll give my talking point as it gets along.
A better time because back then we didn't really have a side as much, right? Eisenhower told them get the hell out of there or else there's going to be some serious problems. They got out of there, and I would say the Suez Canal crisis created the nuclear arms race because after Israel had that embarrassing situation, they went ahead and got the nuclear bomb. They have it illegally, which I find kind of hilarious that they try to tell Iran that they can't have nukes when they have an illegal nuclear program.
Yeah, but I mean, if you ask anybody in the world, who would you rather have nukes, Israel or Iran? Like. Even Persians, even the Iranian people are going to yeah, probably better with Israel.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we also said that, North Korea can't have nuclear weapons, but what ended up happening? Trump met with him. They shook hands. He went into North Korea. Nuclear weapons are deterrent. I think they create quite a bit of peace.
They can. And the only issue is North Korea doesn't really do like the proxy terrorism like Iran does, with like Hezbollah, with the Houthis, with Hamas. And I think North Korea is kept on a short leash because China's right there, and China doesn't want to see North Korea fuck around because it's going to reflect poorly on them. Iran doesn't really have the same, I think, kind of leash on them.
Sure, but my position is that like nuclear weapons like deter people, and my thing is here's my thing. I think every country should be able to exercise sovereignty and the ability to protect themselves. If Israel's going to run an illegal,
I agree on that. I think every country should be able to protect themselves and should protect themselves. Should other countries have different peace treaties and different alliances with other countries? Yes, but not to the extent where we are funding their wars. That I do not agree with, but we'll get into it some more.
nuclear program, then Iran,
I mean, that's what Israel tells us, Stars. Israel says that Iran will use them against us, but Israel is actually the threat to Iraq. Iraq is more likely to use their missiles or their nuclears on Israel than they are the U.S. Israel is the reason why we have been at war with Iraq for years on end. We have been fighting Israel's battles, and to what end? We have lost American soldiers. None of our battles that we have got into Iran with have been to benefit the American people. That's the problem. They've all been to benefit Israel, and that's where, like, we're sending out our soldiers, our troops, our money, our weaponry to a country to fight their battles for them. What benefit does that have back for the United States other than we are losing our soldiers, our money, and our weaponry? So I'm not as big of a supporter of Israel as I'm not a supporter of Iran or Iraq either. But Israel leaves a lot of questions to be desired. They have way too much political influence on American politics, which I don't think they should have any. I think they need to register as foreign agents, which they have been trying to avoid since, I'm going to say, they assassinated John F. Kennedy, because he was pushing for them to sign uh, what is it? The agency documents to have them as foreign agents. And they don't want to sign on as foreign agents because they want to be able to have, because what happens when they sign on as foreign agents, all the money that they actually donate to American politics is called for. And when they're not registered as a foreign agent under the FARA Act, then the money and the influence that they have on American politics can be much greater because it's not being documented, it's not being kept track of. And as it sits now, since probably at least the 50s, Israel has had way too much influence on American politics and what goes on with the American things. And to me, that's at fault of America. We have allowed them to occupy our government for way too long without signing them under the FARA Act. They need to be under the foreign, at minimum, they need to be under the FARA Act where they are registered as a foreign agent.
As one of their adversaries, I see why they're doing what they're doing. And I will say that, our assistance of Israel has actually made the nuclear problem worse, right? We had the nuclear deal, which I think was, something that the Obama administration actually did well. And we pulled out of it, and that created a lot of problems for us.
The U.S. government is shut down right now because the Democrats were mad that we were taking money away from we were sending money out to other countries to support them in their new developments, whether that be transgender developments, whether that be culture developments in these other countries. But it's all a waste of money. All of it was a waste of money. None of it needed to be spent. None of it needed to be in the budget for the American budget. All it's doing is continuing to put our country in more debt. And so Trump was cutting that. They got mad because we cut the funding to these ridiculous programs in other countries that we don't need to be funding. If they want those programs in those countries, that country can go fund that program themselves. I don't think we need to fund those problems. Different surgeries for transgender. We don't need to be funding other countries to help people become transgender. We don't need to fund other countries to create racial divide programs. We don't need to. That's a waste of money. So the Democrats got mad that the Republicans and Donald Trump cut that, and so that they threw a strike. And they thought that they were going to use, and they're using the American people that voted for the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, as leverage. The people in the Democrat parties are generally likely to be the ones that are more affected by the government shutdown than the working class people. It's the people that are relying on government assistance. It's the people it's the people that are getting food stamps. It's the people that are getting Section 8 housing. It's those people that voted mostly for the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party is using them as leverage to try to get those bills back passed. Those bills don't need to be passed. They just need to cut the foolery out. They need to come and open up the actual government and get things back as going.
And
I definitely agree with that. Trump did pull out of it. It was really bad.
Look, you know me.
Sure.
I like Trump, but I will criticize when he makes mistakes, and that was a fatal flaw. And I think that's kind of led to the bad foreign policy that we have now. I think it's one of the biggest mistakes he made foreign policy-wise. And, that was the Israel lobby.
Yeah, I heard there was a storm around Jamaica and stuff. I'm sure Cuba's probably involved in that same storm as well. But yeah, I did see that. We were getting the outer spray of that storm. Nothing major, but we've been getting a lot of rain because of that same storm.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, I think we backed the right horse. Saddam Hussein is out. Iraq is chugging along. Assad is out. Syria is heading in a direction that's probably going to be markedly more pro-West and more anti-Russia. The only player left is really Iran. Somehow Israel, through the fucking gift of God or whatever, has killed every single adversarial military leader and everything else over the past 6 months.
Which causes us problems as well.
In
the 7-3 war that you mentioned before, how they won that one, they won that one by blackmailing us with bombing the Arab world with a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, they
Golden
definitely
War, basically. you know.
Yeah, the third temple has fallen. I think from Dosha. Yeah. No,
We
yeah,
can
for
agree on
sure.
that.
But I'm just saying that at the end of the day, like Saudi Arabia, most of the Gulf states are happy to have Israel as a friend versus Iran, who's going to be competing with them, blowing shit up constantly. Like they don't like those people very much.
You know,
And then you got like everybody would just prefer to see a strong Israel in the region versus a strong Iran in the region, who's like causes trouble for everybody. You know?
Yeah. So when it comes to Saudi Arabia, I actually agree with you on that. I've said this forever that like the Gulf states are cucks for Israel. They just secretly.
Yeah, Destiny, I agree. They speak so fast. Now I get in a debate that they're going to speak fast because they're trying to get their points across in a timely manner. But damn, it's like Destiny's almost like a robot with it.
Do things behind the scenes. They just don't do it
won't say it
publicly.
publicly, yeah.
Because obviously they would be looked at poorly. But I also do think that a big reason why these Gulf states play so nicely is because the United States backs Israel. So in other words, Israel wouldn't be doing the things that they do and having the reckless foreign policy that they do, assassinating scientists and doing all the things they do all across the Middle East if it wasn't for us backing them. And I think by us backing them, it's created us quite a bit of problems here where, you know, look, I'm critical of Islam too. I know that you're extremely critical of Islam. I grew up Muslim, and I even say all the time that Islam isn't compatible with the first world country, well,
I don't
America.
believe that. I don't think I'm not.
It's not compatible with
I'm
America.
more critical with Islam than I am of Christianity or any other religion.
Sure. You're critical of all, but I know that like Islam, you talked about. Well, I don't know if it was you, but I know other people have said that it's not compatible with the first world democracy.
Okay,
no
probably
freedom of
not me
speech.
because I downplay. I don't think religion has much to do with like the Middle Eastern stuff for the past like 50 years. So a lot of people don't like that take.
It does play a lot into it. But the point I'm trying to make is that you know, I don't think they hate us because we're Americans is what I'm trying to get at here. I think,
Iran?
Well, the Middle East in general, the entire Middle East.
Oh no, they got plenty of good reasons to not like us.
Yeah, but yeah, it's because of a lot of our interventionist foreign policy, which is to benefit Israel. So my argument is simply almost every terrorist attack that we've had to endure has been because of our really bad foreign policy to benefit Israel, and I just don't see
To benefit Israel.
the benefit there for us as United.
There is no benefit there for us, Myron. That's exactly what I was just stating myself, is that all the benefits that we are giving to Israel are not having any benefit for the American people. So at that point, how is America first? Like, America needs to be America first, not America and friends first. How are you, Avery? I'm all right.
I mean, we don't see the benefit, but we don't see the detriment if we would have lost there, right? Like, imagine all of those states were hostile to us. What would OPEC?
I don't think it would be, man.
Why not, though?
So I think if we didn't have this like crazy interventionist foreign policy,
I think Myron is about to get into a little bit what I was just talking about, where Destiny said that if we weren't helping Israel, all these other countries would be a bigger threat to us. We only take the fact that they're a threat to us based off of the intel that Israel gives us. Now, we also have it to where Israel can't even send gifts to our CIA because every gift that they sent to our CIA was bugged with listening devices. So if we can't trust them to send gifts to us, why are we trusting them with the information that other countries are trying to bomb us when they are, in fact, the ones that the other country doesn't like the most? I think there's a lot of witch hunts that Israel sends America on, and we go bid their wars for them and lose our people and our money and our armory to help them on things that they say is going to affect us. But are they really going to affect us? That's the question. I think Myron's about to get into that a little bit.
At the benefit of Israel, I don't think they would hate us like that, man. You could look at these Gulf states that have money. These other Arab countries would probably been able to have stable economies, utilize their oil and their other resources, have some money. And
are we assuming if Israel didn't exist? Or because I would say like if Israel wasn't there at all, not to make some argument on whether we'd kill all the Jews or whatever, like let's say Israel wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
I feel like they would all just be fighting each other because I feel like prior to like Israel being there kind of gave them a central
and that's
enemy.
kind of my point. I feel like they would be fighting each other. It wouldn't be necessarily directed back towards us. So how are we funding and sending our soldiers over there benefiting us? How? To me, it's wasting a lot of American taxpayer dollars. It's wasting the lives of our American troops that are over there fighting those wars for them. And to me, it's as I've gotten older and as I've learned more about it, it's become more bullshit to me.
Me to kind of like fight for a while, but prior to that, when Britain was carving it up after World War I, you had like the Mandate, you had like the Turkish Revolution, you had Egypt, like one of their own state, like everybody kind of had their own state, and people were kind of like vying for influence and like it's like
that argument.
Yeah, so
I've always been critical with the Arab world, like they need dictators and monarchs for a reason, right?
Sure.
But I do think, as far as like us and our relationship with them, I don't think it would be as bad as it is if it weren't for all of our interventionism on behalf of Israel.
Let's say that like Iran falls tomorrow, and let's
Okay.
say it's not. Let's say it's replaced by something stable-ish, right? Or it's not. It doesn't like.
Who do you think won? Oh, this could be the next topic. I think that our move into Iran, I think it was an L for us. I think the United States and Israel took an L with that conflict. I don't know what your position is, if you want to.
I'm a major proponent of not having a nuclear armed Iran, so I was okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't
I definitely agree with that sentiment as well.
like the way that we got there, though, right? I would say that exiting the nuclear deal was really bad. Israel loved that, and Saudi Arabia loved that because they fucking hated it.
I will say Stars has been holding at least some type of political conversation with me. But I mean, nobody else is talking really.
When we signed that nuclear deal with Iran.
Yeah.
And then
But
bombing.
Saudi Arabia, they're cool with Iran now. They've opened back diplomatic relations. They're cool now.
I mean, they have, yeah, but I mean, like, these guys are diametrically opposed to each other in terms of.
I say the whole point in being in here is to have conversations and dialogue back and forth to see different viewpoints and thought processes on the video that's at hand. So as long as we can keep a conversation going about the video and about the conversation that we're having, I'm not having an issue with it.
Interest. Like, Iran backs the Houthis a lot. Saudi Arabia tried for like 3 years.
So yes, so Carnage, at that point, there is an outside perspective of what they think they see going on from their perspective, which may be different than what we see over here in America. So I don't mind it. As long as the conversation stays on track, that's all that matters.
To bomb and get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they.
Yeah, people don't talk about how Saudi Arabia has been killing Yemenis for years, and you know it's literally
lot, yeah.
terrible.
So
and I've been critical of the Saudi Arabian government for that too.
yeah. I guess I'm thinking, like, if Iran were to fall and that whole region were to be like friendly-ish basically to the United States, that just seems like a really good state of affairs for us. Because aside from Iran, like, who would give us trouble there?
Well, I think the only reason they give us trouble is because of our foreign policy, right? So like I think it's better to just like not give Israel all this aid and let them hash it out over there.
Like a whole region being
I'm so for that same exact sentiment.
friendly towards us.
Hey, I'm just trying to have a conversation with people in the chat and based off the video.
But there's like
Nobody else is having a conversation.
an issue still with Iran. You think we should just
Instead of focusing on everything in the chat, trying to focus on the video so that we can have those conversations.
exit completely and risk losing the entire region to Russia, China, India?
No, I see your perspective. What I'm trying to say is like the Arab world really doesn't like us. Like, so, okay, I'll give you an example. So like when Biden was in, right, like Saudi Arabia was flirting with BRICS, right? And it took Trump going over there, right, playing off like I'm not friends with Netanyahu, went over there, met with, the leader of Syria, al-Shara, aka former Al-Qaeda guy, we'll lift the sanction off you. And then we'll meet with the, we'll go, they give him the jet or whatever. Like, we almost lost Saudi Arabia to BRICS. And my argument, my bottom line is that, like, and I think you would agree with this, Saudi Arabia just does what's best for Saudi Arabia. Like,
sure,
whoever.
but I mean, like, who would you rather have access to? The United States, who's like signaled that they're going to have a strong interventionist policy, or like when it comes to defending your interests, or somebody like Russia, when Putin sits by and watches Gaddafi getting raped by bayonets, or sits by and watches Assad's regime completely and totally collapse, or watches, Syria be involved in a civil war for 10 years, or watches Iran crumble because Russia can't handle its own war right now. Like, it feels like the U.S. is a good ally to have in your corner, and then we could defend and ensure trade. Like, let's say like the Houthis were up to their, shenanigans, and it wasn't the U.S. that was interested in that region. Let's say it was fucking China or Russia. Like, who's to say that the Suez would have ever opened again? Like, would they have had the capability to even send ships down there to? Does Russia even have a fleet anymore that they could send
They
down
would
there?
have, they would have. But my bottom line is that, like, the Saudis and a lot of these Muslim countries or these Arab countries, they already don't like us because of our policy, right? Like,
I disagree. I feel like
But yeah, I'm on Byron's agreement with that. Is they don't like us because of the foreign policies that we have with Israel. Because Israel is their actual enemy, and because we're an enemy of an enemy. Like, we are the enemy's friend to Iraq. So that's the main reason.
they like us quite a bit. I think they're right. I think that's why most of them, like, people like tried to hype up that Abraham Accord ship.
I'm focusing on the video.
But I think that like most countries are like, listen, the fighting shit is gay. Let's just like move on and like build up and make it.
That's what I insist everybody focus on.
economy.
Yeah, but the Abraham Accords like kind of led to like all of these problems. Like it was one of the reasons why we had the altercation that we had. But to go back real quick to the Iran thing, so I think it was a monumental failure. And I'll give you my position real quick, and you can tell me what you think. The reason why I think it was a monumental failure is because unless you affect regime change, everything else was a waste of time. And I would argue that we made them stronger by intervening, because what ended up happening was they survived the assassinations with their generals. They survived the precise attacks with the nuclear scientists. They did. But the Ayatollah's still alive. They still have their military intact to a degree. Yes, they were weakened. Yes, Mossad did a fantastic operation getting behind enemy lines and destroying air defense and jamming radars. Fantastic. But they did all that and, showed their cards, and they couldn't effectuate the regime change because they were hoping that by them, doing all this, it would make the Baloks or one of these other, rebel groups say, let's go in and like take over. And they didn't do it. Actually, the opposite happened. It united the country. The people that were critical of the theocracy, right? We're like, you know what? We need to get behind the government because, yes, we don't like the Ayatollah, but we hate Israel even more. So, like, when they had these funeral processions, like, there was, like, thousands of people out there, like, saying, yes, yes, yes. So, like, it was an L for us because we actually ignited their nationalism. And then, like, the other problem also is, like, and I got this from, like, an insider that, like, understands Iranian politics. I didn't know this. Like, in their government, right, there's, like, the reformists, which would be, like, their Democrats, and then they're conservatives, they're Republicans. And there was a lot of fighting in between, like, hey, diplomacy with the West or no diplomacy. And basically what happened was when Israel attacked with Operation Rising Lions, they said, you know what, fuck it. We're going to hit them hard. And then they just started hitting Tel Aviv super hard. That's why we saw, them being able to attack a lot of strategic sites, hit their intel bases. And obviously Israel withheld this because they didn't want anyone to know that they were being hit. But it's coming out now that they are actually hit pretty hard. Tel Aviv got destroyed. Not all the way, but it got significantly damaged.
Definitely not. There were a couple of missiles that fell, but not significantly damaged.
Oh, dude, they did. I'm telling you, there was a
I don't have a whole lot of input. I don't know what the missiles that they're talking about that did or didn't do.
And I'll show you after the debate, like and that's by design. Like Western media and Israeli media purposely made sure any like journalists that took pictures or documented anything, there was a chance of them going to jail because they didn't want Iranian intelligence to get precise coordinates of where they were being hit for obviously OPSEC reasons. Then on top of that, we know Israel, there was
requests so that people don't like report on like where
they also didn't want pandemonium too. Two main reasons.
Yeah, but like it's Tel Aviv. It's the first world country. Everybody's got a cell phone. Like you're never hiding.
Yeah, of course. And people did put it out. Like there's still video, but I'm saying like like actual journalists, they were getting in trouble for it.
I don't disagree with this idea that we're making.
Oh, and just to finish real quick, to finish my position. So we united the country. The regime is still in power. All we've done is embolden them to get the nuclear weapons even more so now because they're like, now we need a nuclear bomb, right? They kicked IAEA out, which the IAEA,
International Atomic Association.
Yeah. The long story short, they were supplying us with information about their nuclear capabilities. Now they're gone. The last person actually just.
Destiny still looks like a kid, even though he's probably a grown man. Still sounds like a kid.
Left today from Iran. They kicked them out. So we have no oversight of their nuclear program. And me and you both agree that leaving a nuclear deal was absolutely stupid. So now we have nothing. And I think that if anything, since we didn't get rid of the regime and they've mastered the cycle, the centrifuge cycle, they're going to get another nuclear bomb. And let's assume we go off what Trump and Hegseth said, 1 to 2 years behind. Well, so what? The regime is there. They have the capability to build another nuclear bomb is my position. So I think that us intervening, we spent billions of dollars to help defend Israel, to bomb their nuclear facilities, and they're just going to rebuild it.
Right? And then what? Are we gonna waste our machinery, our armory, our manpower, our money again into the same thing? Probably.
I mean, like, when it comes to an overall comprehensive view of what the Middle East should look like and what our approach to Iran should be, I'm not going to argue that our view right now is incomprehensible. One of my biggest complaints about Trump is I don't think he's a mind for politics or foreign affairs or anything. I don't think he has, like, an overall... Like, if you ask Trump, like, what do you think the Middle East should look like? He'd probably just draw, like, an Israeli flag over every country or something. Like, you guys are a fucking idiot when it comes to that. So, like, our overall approach...
What I'm hearing other people doing on YouTube is they're throwing an Israel flag up in their background just so that they don't get called an anti-Semitist when they're having these type of conversations. They literally hung up a flag even though they're not in support of Israel. They literally hung up the Israel flag behind them just so that they could like fake the algorithm on the conversation that they were having to make it seem like they were in support of Israel when in fact the debate and conversations they were actually having were not in support of Israel.
Yeah.
Overall approach.
Israel be paying $7,000 to American YouTubers or influencers that promote Israel is wild as well.
which is definitely like incoherent. But I mean, given a list of bad options, I would say Iran not having access to nuclear weapons is something that not only we prefer, but every single actor in the region would prefer. It's just very scary when you've got an actor that takes so much like overt effort to fuck with other countries. You know, whether it's expeditionary forces in Iraq, whether it's Hezbollah in Syria and obviously in Lebanon, whether it's Hamas, whether it's the Houthis, like they have their fingers in so many different things, and then for them to be completely and totally safe from any attack now, because Israel can't really attack them if they have a nuclear weapon, things get way more weird at that point. And I think any world where they don't have a nuclear weapon is beneficial to the stability of the region, the stability of the planet, and literally every interest that we have in the region, both country interest and like trade and oil and everything else.
So I would agree with you that them having a nuclear weapon is bad. I actually agree with you.
I will say that you keep arguing like on their perspective. If I was Iran, I would be barreling towards a nuclear weapon. So I understand their perspective. Ever since Syria fell, I think that was a huge signal to Iran where it's like, okay, well, fuck. Especially because, and I'm not a fan of anything happening right now, but like Trump did them kind of dirty because I'm pretty sure that attack from Israel came it was like 2 or 1 day after the.
It was right before. They
hit
him on like a Thursday or Friday. It's supposed to be Sunday. Yeah.
And it was like the problem.
Really
is
bad
that,
diplomacy.
Yeah, but I don't even know if this country does diplomacy right now. I don't know. We're 90 days, 90 trade deals. We have 0 so far. Like everything foreign affairs wise is fucked. So I think that Iran has every incentive right now to continue towards.
And I think we push them that way because I agree with you that them having a nuclear weapon is bad. But I think like we had the ability to have control of it.
We did, them, but we don't have the leadership right now. The one thing that we have to counterbalance is like, so I fully believe that Israeli and U.S. interest is aligned in a lot of ways. I know you might not agree with that, but
they are in many ways.
They are in many ways, but Israel also has interests that are
absolutely more aggressive.
Yes, they're not aligned with the United States. So, for instance, the United States, regardless of what any retard says, the United States does not want regime change in Iran. Israel absolutely wants regime change in Iran.
I think they would be okay with it, but they're not willing to put boots on the ground to effectuate
it. We would be okay with it insofar as like maybe because.
Oh yeah, they're not willing to put boots on the ground because they want America to put boots on the ground.
Israel wants it, but the reality is, like a collapse in Iran could lead to all sorts of catastrophic. It could lead over into Iraq, into Afghanistan,
and I would argue the base like.
I'm trying to grow the channel, but focusing on the people who are in the chat and who they are is less important to me than focusing on the conversation being had in the stream.
Saying like no fucking wars like that, I think that stalled his like decision making. Like, oh man, I need more time. I think he would have been way more into this conflict if the base didn't rebel so bad. Because that was
because Israel is full steam ahead on that. If the U.S. is like regime change, Israel's like we've already got like 5,000 Mossad, in place just to give us a signal.
That's why Mike Waltz got fired because he wanted to have a plan where they literally put boots on the ground and they were going to send special forces into these nuclear facilities and really like try to get shit going.
Sure.
So but yeah.
So
I think it was a failure on my end. I think from a U.S.-Israeli position, it was a failure because our goal was like we don't want them to have nuclear weapons. We emboldened them and we nationalized them where they're patriots.
At the very least, push them off it, right? Let's say, do you think that the world is a better place if Iran starts to have nuclear weapons in a month or in 2 weeks?
No, it'll create problems. But I'm arguing
No, it'll create problems. Of course, it'll create problems. But I don't think that the problems will affect us secondary. It'll be us having to help and bail out the country that is being like firstly affected by them having the nuclear bombs. That infusion of our soldiers helping them, may that send nuclear missiles to us as well in the future? Yes, it very well could then directly affect us as well. Oh, cool. Look at you, buddy. Spiffy. Baby Yoda and a dinosaur. Cool. All right.
Position isn't that them having nukes is bad. I think them having.
So, I'm just trying to grow the channel, and my focus is less worried about who is in the chat versus what we're talking about. As long as the conversation is about, I'm almost not going to pay attention to the conversation unless it's about the video.
But isn't that having nukes in if having nukes in 2 weeks would be really bad? Isn't pushing it like 6 months? Isn't that? Well, I know we did in that, but now we have to work with what we have now.
Yeah.
Do you think them having nukes in 2 weeks is better than them having nukes maybe 6 to 12 months from now?
I think they can get them faster.
Well, I mean, a lot of their stockpiles have been blown up. A lot of their centrifuges have been blown up. Like it's going to be.
You know, a lot of the uranium was got out. You know, multiple reputable sources are saying around 400 kilos was snuck out. I would not be surprised if they didn't have other clandestine operations going on, knowing that they were going to get hit. I mean, their 3 main nuclear facilities, the whole world knew about it. I would be shocked if they didn't have other places.
I'd be more shocked.
Of course, the U.S. is going to step into effect to help their allies and with NATO, but to the extent of what?
If they were to hide them from all the infiltrated Mossad.
Like we've been done that. We've been doing that, and it hasn't been benefiting the United States in any fashion.
In their country, I felt like Israel would have known and told us.
Well, they just busted another ring today.
Sure.
The IRGC.
Yeah, Israel would have told us. Yeah, the information that they told us, though, how much of it can we trust?
He busted another ring today. So again, my thing is, I think our bad foreign policy has kind of led us down this road where it's like now they're saying death to America, let's go ahead and get nuclear weapons. Like we could have totally avoided this if we didn't have the nefarious influence of Israel saying we don't want a nuclear deal because they're going to build nuclear weapons anyway. It's the real reason is that Israel wants regime change and they want to be the hegemony.
Sure, but I would say the fault there is Trump because Israel didn't want the nuclear deal with Senator Obama. So I mean, like,
yeah, I would agree with you.
Of course, the fault is Trump.
I think him pulling out of the nuclear deal because of you know, Israeli lobby pressure was a big fucking mistake. Huge. But like I think
because of who? We pulled out of the deal because of who? I want to run it back, but I don't know. I figure out how to do it.
Israel didn't want the nuclear deal with Senator Obama. So I mean, like,
yeah, I would agree with you. I think him pulling out of the nuclear deal because of you know, Israeli lobby pressure was a big fucking mistake.
Because of Israeli lobby pressure. Israel having tons of influence on American politics.
Push them back. I think if anything, if we did push them back, their resolve is greater. They're definitely gonna get a nuclear weapon, and we've just made everything worse for everybody in the region.
Okay, I think
that's my position.
Sounds such like a great thing. Thank you, Israel, for the intel. We appreciate it.
On it.
You two agree on a lot, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
all right, and so shout out to Digital Social Hour with Sean Kelly. That's the platform that this debate is on. I hadn't shouted them out yet. I probably should have tagged them in the Discord, or in the disclaimer in the description. But shout outs to them. Again, this is a debate between Destiny and Myron Gaines, mostly on politics with Israel and Palestine and different Donald Trump and different policy debates.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we should cut. Do you think we should give aid to them?
Israel?
Yeah.
Yeah, to everybody in the region. I think it's a good region to be friendly with, and I would hate to see that region fall to somebody else's influence, especially when something has happened in the past several years where it feels like a lot of our
Nemo, again, I'm worrying less about who's in the chat than the conversation in the chat. You guys are focusing on who's in the chat, but we're not getting any conversation from the video.
enemies are having issues. Like I think Russia's running into a significant amount of issues. Watching Syria fall is, it was good for the U.S. technically. So I mean, like I think that.
I honestly think if we cultivated Saudi Arabia, they'd be a better ally than Israel.
In all my historical reading and in all my current understanding of Saudi Arabia, I don't even know what Saudi Arabia does or like, well, like they have like a military supposedly, but like I don't know what they do. They've been.
I'll give you real quick.
Fuck all. They have like I don't know.
Sure, I'll give you my position.
War between Israel and the countries is like Saudi Arabia sends like 3.5 tanks and like 1 jet.
Yeah,
sometimes we'll fly and land in Egypt.
They basically have a weak military, but like we give them all their protection. But my position is, if we had cultivated a relationship with Saudi Arabia versus Israel, Saudi Arabia from a religious perspective, right? Mecca, Medina, very religious. Like they're kind of the leaders. That's why like them coming into the Abraham Accords would have created so many problems. It's actually one of the chief reasons why Hamas attacked, because Hamas knew if Saudi Arabia comes into the Abraham Accords, that's like the leader of the Muslim world. So
hey, chill, Bobby.
It would have, and the Palestine question would have been answered. So that actually prompted it. So I think if we had cultivated that relationship, we would have been better off.
I mean, we have cultivated. We have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia. We've had for like 20 years, right? I think that the issue with the Abraham
without Israel
was more without Israel.
Yeah, because I think Israel's been putting a lot of the it's created a lot of diplomatic problems for us all.
Yeah, because of the influence. Because of the influence that Israel has in the American politics and them not being registered by FARA, the Foreign Agents Act.
And then like with what's going on in Gaza, just makes us look worse. And
gets us in all kinds of trouble.
international scene, right? And it's like we deal with all their problems, all their blowback, because we're the ones funding them. So all the bad shit that they do, we have to eat it. And even when we tell them, hey, Netanyahu, don't do that, he does it anyway.
Yeah, we definitely have an issue. Yeah, you need a leader with a lot of vision to solve the Palestinian issue with Israel. And I think the big reason for the Abraham Accords, why Hamas was emboldened after that, is because Trump basically furthered the Netanyahu goal of saying, fuck.
What's good, reported? Just trying to have conversations on the debate that's being had between Destiny and Myron Gaines on different political matters, mostly around the Israel-Palestine conversation.
Dealing with the Palestinians, we're just going to keep pushing it, off to the side. I think was a big thing.
Yeah, and they couldn't afford for Saudi Arabia to come in without answering that question, because that would have been they would have been cooked. Yeah. Now again, like obviously what went down on October 7th was horrible, but I do think it's very important to understand like why things happen and why bad foreign policy leads to these issues. And I think the only way
right now, the only other person in the chat that was having conversations on the video content was Stars. Nobody else is talking about the video content.
Way that we're going to get peace in the Middle East, because okay, let's say Iran.
That's the conversation I want to be having. The people being in here help generate more people to be in here because it helps the algorithm.
False. There's going to be a new insurgent group. There's going to be more terrorists. They're going to come in. Until the Palestinians have a state, we're always going to have problems in that area. And with Netanyahu, he doesn't want a two-state solution. We know that he's destroyed the Oslo Accords on multiple occasions. He doesn't want them to have a state. So until we get one.
Reported, it doesn't even matter because the conversation in the chat's not being had about the content of the video, which is what the conversation in the chat needs to be. That way I can relay and talk with the chat, because I'm going to not talk with the chat when they're just talking about each other and not the video. Like, the content is what the video is supposed to be about.
The thing about Israel is, like, the people are realistic. Like, you can compel him, you could force him to do things, but you have to have a U.S. leader that's actually, like, on board with...
Well, the way we'd have to do it is we'd...
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go there to live. I might go visit different areas if I had means to, but... Yeah, I mean, I want to live in America, but I want America to be America first.
You have to literally make their aid contingent upon them playing nice.
The benefit of the American people is what the American government should have their main focus on.
Exactly, yeah.
But they would never do that. That's the problem.
That's why you need a leader to do it, right? Yeah.
Well, see, if we weren't controlled, and I know you disagree with me on this, like if our foreign policy wasn't run by them, and we didn't have such Zionist control of American foreign policy, we'd be able to do it. Where it'd be like, look, you guys got to make peace with these guys.
The goal of the channel, to grow a channel, running people off the channel is not going to be beneficial to growing the channel. The channel needs to grow to get people in here. And then once you actually got people in here, you worry about who's in here. But like now there's almost nobody in here. There was like 11 people to start.
Guys, otherwise you're not getting aid anymore. But since we continue to give them weapons, they continue to have influence, they control our politicians, they have no incentive to make peace.
If they have so much control over us, then why did Obama sign that nuclear deal in the first place, though?
Well, good question. So he signed it, but he got heavily criticized. Netanyahu came here, shit on him, like in front of our own government, and he's the only other world leader that could do it. And then as soon as Obama got out, he lobbied, and Trump took it out. They put Iran on. That's another thing too. Like we put the IRGC on the terrorist watch list, foreign terrorist list in 2019. Mike Pompeo. That created problems because then we put heavy sanctions.
Yeah, for sure. I think she is 14.
On them, like we had every ability to play nice with Iran and do diplomacy, but we fucked it up. And I would agree with that.
I mean, like, it's not. Well, I guess we disagree. Because I was gonna say, like, Israel can't make Trump like be their bitch. Like, I don't think that they don't have that influence. They don't have the economy. They don't have. Okay. Yeah,
I think he is beholden to the Israeli lobby, and it really pisses me off because like the Adelsons gave him all this money. I mean,
but he doesn't need it. The guy's he had Elon Musk, the richest guy in the world. Like this guy could have literally gotten fundraised from anywhere in the world, and it would have been okay.
So the reason why he needed the money, because he was facing all the legal cases, so he needed the money to run.
And he's got Trump coin and Melania coin. He doesn't need. I mean,
that was after.
I mean, he's got a ton of money from that, right? He's got a lot of money from that. Legal cases aren't tens or hundreds.
Yeah, but he already won at that point. I'm talking about
his
before.
fight.
I'm talking about before. Obviously, he had like 4 criminal cases,
criminal cases. That's what, I mean, like
Hey, they get expensive.
He didn't need.
expensive.
Yeah, but I don't think he needed the Israeli money for. that. I think that this guy was the most like popular
Remember-
politician in U.S. history. This guy
Remember,
fundraised from $1
Mayor
million.
Mailson is just one.
Sure.
Like, there's a bunch of other donors that we don't know about that give him money that aren't under.
Yeah, Larry Ellison is their main biggest donor for the IDF. That's the largest individual donor for the IDF. He's also who just bought TikTok. So the TikTok is about to turn into probably an Israel propaganda page. TikTok's probably going to be mainly Israel propaganda, and they're going to try to take and ban everybody off of the TikTok that is against the IDF or Israel. And Israel's already been known that they're paying American influencers $7,000 per post to support Israel. It's just absolutely crazy. But who's actually giving Israel the money to pay them $7,000 a pop? Probably the American.
APAC that we don't know about that, hey, and then look, he got the tech bros in. Peter Thiel, Alice Karp, all these guys, the Palantir guys, these guys are like lifelong progressive Democrats. They all got under Trump bandwagon. Why? Because of Israel.
Because they were triggered by the woke shit.
Bill Ackman, all these guys.
By the woke shit.
No.
Yes. And I voted for Trump, but he has been compromised with some of this Israel stuff.
You think Elon Musk was controlled by Israel? Like
Elon Musk, I think, got out of it because maybe some of that. I don't know that we heard the full story on why Elon and Donald Trump had their little separation. Now, obviously, they're still friends and still support each other, but they're not together like they were at the start of the campaign.
This guy joined Trump. He bought X for Trump and
He's
literally
thinking about it.
Well, no. So what I will say is that, so when he got X, right, and he started getting hit on, excuse me, when he bought X, and then like people were like, they were taking a free speech crazy, and people were being, critical of Israel and talking about all these different things. Like, people tried.
Yeah, Israel was getting tons of backlash on X for sure.
Media Matters wrote a hit piece on him, right, saying like, oh look, these
Which this ties into the Charlie Kirk issue, because Charlie Kirk was a big supporter of Israel, and towards the end there, he was starting to see the light, and I think Israel wasn't happy because he was literally sending Bibi Netanyahu a letter telling him that you guys are losing the social media battle. You guys need to do something. I'm having to constantly defend you guys every time I do my debates, every time I pull up to these college campuses. I'm having to defend you guys when I'm just trying to support you, but I feel like you guys ain't supporting yourselves because you're not helping yourselves in the social media platform. But at the end of the day, there was probably a bigger reason for that, and Charlie was seeing more of the light and seeing the crick. Go before you interrupt me, and I'm in the middle of a thought. But he was starting to critique Israel himself, and there's a lot of evidence that dictates back that they could be involved. I don't know. It's definitely an alleged. Candace Owens has been hot on their trail for that. Candace Owens is great. I don't know how much of her stuff we can take as factual. I know now she's just talking about that she has had a dream where Charlie came to her in her dream, and she knows who did it, and it's going to come out who did it, and nobody can stop it. I haven't watched that whole video, but I have seen clips of it, and I don't know. It's hard to get on board 100% with that. I get where she's coming from, but I think she's emotionally attached to the case too much.
Anti-Semitic posts are put right next to your advertisers, blah blah blah, and he ended up suing them. But they made him do the fucking ritual. He had to go to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro, put the hat on, the whole humiliation ritual, and then after that he started playing ball. And then interestingly enough, Elon Musk, the only person that came to the U.S. that Elon left Texas to go visit was Netanyahu when he came here.
Stars, what you hear from the news platforms that you're probably watching on Tyler James Robinson being the killer, man, he's a patsy. There's way more to it than Tyler James Robinson killed him. There's a lot that the FBI has mentioned that does not add up. They have blatantly lied to us about this case that has, on different occasions, and then had to go back and double track their steps. But If you think that just that 22-year-old boy got up on the roof, he plotted that out like that in a week's time, and he wasn't seeing campus in the actual campus and canvassing it, I don't think that he's the only one. I think that he's a patsy involved in it. I think that he had a part that he was told, and then when the part that he was told was going to happen didn't happen, and something else happened earlier, he got up and ran off that roof. I think there's a lot. If you can put your tinfoil cap on and you can go in on that story pretty well, that may be another topic that we cover on this channel. I'm definitely going to probably react to one of Candace's videos soon about it. Maybe Saturday I'll do a Candace video where I react to her talking about where Charlie came to her in a dream, because I haven't seen that video myself, and that is a conversation that I continue to want to talk about, because obviously we haven't gotten real justice on that case yet, so we'll see. But let's get back into this debate here.
And I think late last year.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is that just because that's the only one who would meet with Elon Musk? Like, I feel like he's not a very popular guy. If we go on X right now, like, this is like the neo-Nazi paradise platform at the moment. Okay, it's crazy out there. It's not like he cleaned up a whole bunch.
I mean,
the Media Matters hit piece was like, you can call it a hit piece, but it was legitimate. It was kind of weird that you could scroll through something where it's like some actual crazy.
Well, they were doing that on purpose.
Like,
Like they were
video.
doing advertisements on purpose. Like they were like refreshing the page and like.
I understand. I've read the case,
Yeah.
the complaint that they filed, and I know that Elon alleged that a lot of it was unfair. But I mean, like, you can create a new account on Twitter and you can scroll yourself and go into.
Reported. It will be more of an adult-focused space. I'm worrying about getting the channel growing right now and getting the conversations to be had and building an actual channel where I'm focusing on the video and the conversation being had, because to me that is more of a real conversation than just the shit talking we do over on the football channel. So right now I'm just trying to get it to grow. The maturity level is going to be the main focus on the channel. As it gets older, we're going to make sure that you are mature enough for the content. But I mean, if the video is sitting there on YouTube and there's 0 viewers on it, people are less likely to click into it than they are if they see it and there's viewers on the channel. So right now, that's a helping way to keep the channel growing.
Like, you'll see some crazy shit like right next to a sponsor. It was pretty fucking wild. Now, as of right now, I think most sponsors have kind of come back because the price of advertising got cheap enough.
Yeah, and they cleaned it up.
I'm not trying to keep the channel at just the people that we have in it. I would like to grow the channel. That's the whole purpose of it, to reach a broader band of people.
Too. They did clean it up after that hit piece.
Cleaned it up.
They did, dude. They did. I got demonetized. I got fucking.
I got demonetized too. I don't know.
Well,
but yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it's like an unfalsifiable like thing. Like, I think that there's plenty of reasons to explain why. I think a lot of old people in the U.S. fucking love Israel just because of the story, the Cold War, and everything.
A lot of dumb boomers.
Like, yeah, I don't think you need necessarily. I don't think you need a conspiracy to explain why Trump is such a huge fucking Israeli dick suck. And I think you see the younger generation is definitely not.
Well, yeah, like they're just starting to wake up to this stuff. But like, yeah, the boomer generation, the people that watch Sean Hannity and Fox News, whatever, they are. But like, my point is that I think our foreign policy is controlled by them, and we need to like stop being occupied by them. Because
like, if it was easy to buy somebody off, I mean, how many Arabs, Muslims are there? Like 2 billion?
Yeah.
There's got to be more money in that world to pay off a leader than however much.
Well, they have to register under FARA.
Well, sure, but I mean, it's like AIPAC is not like Israel. Or wait, you probably think
they're not Israel, but they're American. You know, a lot of times American Zionists that obviously believe in Israel.
Sure, but you can make the same thing in the U.S. with an Arab group if you wanted, or a Muslim group, or a Saudi Arabian group, or whatever.
Yeah, dude, but like, come on. I mean, we could.
She's also the only one that's even having any input or comments on what the video's about. Nobody else in here is even talking about the video. Y'all just talking about her. Like, I want to talk about the video. I don't want to talk about her.
Talk about Epstein, for example, right? Like, do you think if Epstein was like, Jeffrey Mohammed, that like we would be concealing the fact that he was, an asset for a foreign intelligence service? No, the documents would have been declassified immediately.
Sure, but I don't think that would have been because like we're beholden to Israel. I think it's just because a lot of older Americans remember 9/11. And
well, it's not my fault that you guys can't focus on the video just because she's there.
Fucking hate Muslims and shit. It would be like, fuck this guy.
No, sure. But like, the point is that like, if Epstein was Muslim, those documents would be out. If he was an Arab, those documents would be out. Like, you know, but the fact that he was tied in with Israeli intelligence, like we still don't have the documents, we don't have anything. Oh, we're going to declassify him. Didn't bring anything out. It took 60 years to get the
Epstein is
JFK
hard.
documents.
The Epstein is hard. I truly believe, I don't think there is a book. There is no client list. I think the Epstein was a kind of a perverted dude, had young people there. I don't think there's anything to be found from the Epstein stuff.
Yeah, that's what everybody else wants us to think too. But why are they still hiding it from us? If there's nothing like that to come out about the Epstein, why will they not release the fucking file?
I think that Trump played it up because they wanted it to be and because it looked good as like a hit piece. But like, I think that like the people that pushed this the hardest would have been the ones with most incentive to kill him, right? Epstein died in 2019 in a Trump federal prison, right? What was it? Acosta.
In a Trump federal. So now the prisons, just because he's president, are owned by Trump. Now I get that they're federal prisons, but
was a Department of Labor secretary who was the criminal attorney, I think.
Putting the blame on Trump on why Epstein died in prison. I mean, we don't all know why, really, Epstein died in prison. Was Trump involved? I don't know. I'm not putting that allegation out there right now. But to make it seem like Trump is directly connected to or related to why he died seems a bit wild without any further context.
Who got
U.S. attorney,
or U.S. attorney.
He was the U.S. attorney out of Southern District of Florida.
Nice deal, so that he didn't have prison time for the first charges that he caught.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to make, like Epstein, obviously, if he was on video saying, "Oh, Joe Biden is my best friend of 10 years," like people would be losing their mind because it was Trump. Nobody even knows about the call that's like publicly available. Yeah, I don't know. The issue I have, I guess, sometimes is that like I can see a bunch of stuff that like I understand, like there's good explanations for it. I'm like, is there anything that's happening where it's like I can't explain that without some kind of like foreign push?
So here's my thing. I actually agree with you that like people are way too hyped up on the client list or whatever. And actually, to be honest with you, you know, I was talking with you about this. Where people really need to look is the CIA, because if he was actually
CIA is probably one of the most corrupt agencies in or tied to the American government.
Actually a foreign agent for a foreign country, the CIA is going to have all that information. The FBI is strictly domestic. Like NSA, CIA, honestly, Tulsi Gabbard is the one that's going to have everything when it comes to Epstein, because people forget that there's a criminal case and there's also a classified high side. That's the stuff that people want to see. So my thing is, I think the fact that he is aligned with the Israeli government is a big reason why they're not showing us that, because that's what people really want to see. Is there a client list? Maybe. But my thing is, I'm more interested in who was he working for? Why was he collecting the information that he was collecting? And what was he actually doing when he was in the US? Like, what were his meetings like, etc.? Because I guarantee
to be fair,
they have that.
That kind of stuff will never be released. Like ever.
But
Like
when they said
stuff like that would never come out.
That's what they campaign on, and that's why.
Yeah, I know. They ain't gonna release that. Because the government has a deep state in it. As long as that deep state is part of the government, we're never going to know the full truth. The government will never be fully transparent.
I understand, but that's like their issue. Yeah. I think one big issue the Trump admin is going to have, like in the first term, because Trump doesn't know how to do politics, he didn't know anything about like what do my cabinet members do or what do my agencies do. Now coming in, right? He's appointed absolute sycophants in every single cabinet position, and now he can't use those.
Yeah, he put loyalists instead of competent.
Yeah,
individuals.
so he can't use deep state excuses anymore, unless we're saying the deep state is even deeper than all the Trump control. And when you've got guys like Bongo Balls or whatever on Tim Pool saying, "I got a guy in the CIA who told me 100%," and now this guy is deputy of the FBI with Kash Patel or whatever, and they're like, "Oh shit, we actually have nothing. Nothing's going on here." And Tulsi Gabbard says nothing is going on, and Pam Bondi says nothing's going on. Like, at what point is it like?
That has Tulsi Gabbard, because that's who people really need to ask questions to, because people forget like how the intelligence apparatus is, but she's the one that's going to have everything. She's going to have the high side stuff that people are actually interested in.
I mean, they say that, but like,
yeah, Tulsi Gabbard, release all that info. We want the truth. The American people want the truth.
what was the argument before? The argument, so Pam Bondi should theoretically have everything for the DOJ, but she's like, well, the Southern District of New York was hiding stuff.
Nemo, refresh.
From us. So is Tulsi Gabbard going to leave in
And I'm focusing on the video.
4 years and be like, actually, even though I was a director of National Intelligence, they were hiding stuff from me too. And it's like, fuck.
Well, the reason why I say her is because she's going to have access to all the classified stuff from the intelligence community, right? Like,
no, I understand theoretically, but I'm saying it feels like there's always a deeper state to point to once they're out of office. They're like, we couldn't get those files because somebody deep in this.
My bottom line is that if he had worked for the Saudi Arabian government, we would have those documents. But since he was tied in with the Israeli government, we're not getting those documents. Because, and I guarantee you why they're not going to release it. they're going to consider it national defense information, NDI, and off that, we can't release it. And then a lot of those people are still alive. Who knows what
I feel like this would be standard practice. Like, I don't think we would know about Saudi Arabia. I mean, they literally fucking chainsawed that one dude up in that embassy.
Khashoggi?
We didn't do fuck all about that, right? I think at this point, I think most people believe.
Well, we wouldn't give that same level of like Saudi Arabia, cool, but like I'm saying, like
for Ukraine,
we give Israel is insane.
Maybe. I mean,
insane.
What was his name?
I definitely agree with it. The influence on
Jasal?
Israel.
Oh, Khashoggi?
Khashoggi.
Yeah,
I
the Saudi Arabian guy.
It's pretty crazy. Like I'm pretty sure people saw him getting like carried out.
They killed him in Turkey. Yeah.
Yeah, and then and look at like Ukraine. I think at this point most people know that Zelensky might not have had personal knowledge, but Ukraine probably took out the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. We haven't released anything or said anything. Fuck all about that. I think it's pretty standard practice for we have allies. We just don't. We're not going to release like.
Sure. But like,
no, yeah. There's a shit ton that our government hides from us. A shit ton. When they should in fact be completely transparent.
You know,
the amount of aid that we give them, the amount of money we give them, etc. Like I'm saying, like any other country had Epstein not been aligned with Israel, let's say he had been aligned with Turkey, even Ukraine, some of our greatest allies, the info would have came out. Was my argument.
I don't know. I think
it's speculative, but I think the info would have came out.
He was literally in the United States with his own.
What up, Said? Welcome in.
Bodyguards like beating up U.S. citizens, and we didn't say fuck all about it. We're like, oh, he's cool, just. We give a lot of deference to people.
Erdogan is a scumbag, man.
Sure, yeah. Turkey, it does a lot. I mean, Trump literally, when he left Syria, and Turkey was like, oh, we can go bomb these motherfucking Kurds now.
It's like the definition of like a guy that just talks shit, but
I mean, like we didn't do fuck all about it or condemn him or say anything bad about it. So I don't know. I think we get a lot of deference to our allies. It's hard to say.
But Israel, dude, come on, man. Come on, man. If it was Turkey, come on. If Epstein was Turkish intelligence, that file would have been out, man.
100%. I agree 100%. I agree 100%.
I don't know, man.
What about Ukraine? Ukraine
like a part of the IDF as well.
Just got another round of funding. Where do you guys stand on that?
Yes. It's disappointing because, Trump campaigned that he would end that conflict. And now I think he's starting to realize that we're in.
They are agreeing on a lot. That's for sure, reported.
A little too deep now. Russia has no reason.
At the top of the video, it says explosive debate. We're almost halfway in, so I'm still waiting for it to get explosive.
To make peace at this point. They're winning, and they have all the cards, unfortunately. So they're like, oh, well, what's the point of us doing diplomacy? And Trump thought he was going to be able to come in and just kind of let them keep the land that they have. Don't join NATO for 20 years. I think this was kind of the original. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like plan that they came in with. It wasn't good enough for Russia. So I don't know, dude.
I almost should have done a Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes debate.
I mean, that's a fucking nightmare. Ukraine, Russia. What's going on? I don't know what's your position on that.
I truly do believe that Trump is just incompetent in like everything he does. I think that people have let him get away with this. He's like a master negotiator.
I think he's better than Biden administration on Russia.
Not.
You don't think so?
No, he's a catastrophe. This guy said he would do it on day 0. This guy's like truthing out like, I think Putin is lying to me. It's like, yeah, no fucking shit, Shirley.
What up, Cube?
I see your perspective, but at least he's talking to Putin. The Biden administration, they didn't talk to him for years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what has Trump gotten in all of his talks with Putin? Literally fuck all.
Yeah. Well, again, it's better than.
They say like, I ain't about to talk to the guy that got fuck all. Then I talk.
Welcome back, Cube.
Talked to him and I begged and I got nothing.
But at least we got conversation going. At least we can figure something out, dude.
We haven't figured anything out.
Biden administration didn't even talk to him, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. Motherfuckers invading a sovereign nation for no fucking reason.
Well, if you want to make peace, you have to talk to the other side at some point.
I mean, with Putin.
Yeah, you got to talk to him at some point.
Like, I think we should have just supported Ukraine and let them win the war. I think that would have been the better idea. But
you think what we should have
supported Ukraine so they could have won the war? I think would have been the better idea.
Again, I think that whole conflict was bad foreign policy by the U.S. again, right? Allowing NATO to expand. We could have made a play with the Russians in the early 2000s. Putin wanted to join.
They wanted they wanted an expedited list. They wanted to get there with some special privilege bullshit. There are definitely steps that we could have taken to be more friendly with Russia historically, especially after the war on terror. Like we had a closer relationship for a while. But they see themselves as like a dispossessed empire, and I think they want that back. I mean, they did it in
for sure.
Georgia, they're doing it in Ukraine.
He's talked about that, but I do think that this isn't just. I can't really even blame this on one administration. This is literally like 10, 20 years of bad foreign policy with Russia, where I think we could have definitely held back NATO a little bit. Could have But
I mean, like even when you say that, like.
I mean, as far as I've understood, NATO actually went against what they told Russia. They told Russia that they would never impede on their borders, that they would never encroach on their land, and they have done just that. And then they get mad when Russia fires back in defense. Like, I don't know who to blame on that, but to me, NATO needs to take some of the blame.
Held back NATO. Like, why? If countries vote to want to join NATO, like, why are we saying no, you can't? So you have to get fucked by Russia.
Well, Cube, right now we have no moderators in this chat.
I mean, and well, it's not that. I think allowing NATO to continue to expand, like, and provoking a world power that has nuclear weapons.
We don't attack Russia.
Well, no, of course we don't. But by allowing NATO to expand, that is a proxy way that because we're benefiting. We're allowing our weapons to be used. We're seeing what their capabilities are versus ours. Like, this is an awesome intel collection thing for us. Obviously, at the cost of Ukrainians and Russians dying, and costing us billions of dollars. But
I mean, maybe it's just nicer to be friends with the U.S. than with fucking Russia, right? Like, I think, when you look at at the Baltics, like, these guys are sitting real good right now. They're like, I'm glad as fuck we got it in NATO because I don't want to be fucking Ukraine.
Well, they only joined after the Ukraine situation. Like,
no, Baltics, Estonia.
Yeah. But I'm talking about, like, I'm thinking of Finland right now. Yeah, like Finland only joined because of what happened with Ukraine. But I do think that, the invasion in 2022 was just a culmination of just really bad foreign policy. And then Putin seeing Biden sucks, let's go in, he's weak, and then bam.
I mean, he would have gone in if it was Trump. Like,
you think so? I don't think so.
He hasn't done fuck all with Trump there. He was still fighting through all of Trump's first term in the Donbass. Like, yeah, I don't think this weird myth that, like, everybody respects Trump and nobody does shit. Like, I just don't think it's true. Like, anybody will do anything. Like,
I don't think it would have.
I don't know how much China, North Korea, and Russia respect Trump. But at the end of the day, I think they have to have some level of respect for him. But to me, it's in question because you can go find different things that show their conversations that seem to be a little different, especially when they were talking about their new form of money and how they want to be the new standard of the dollar or the standard of their currency, their currency to be the standard. But we'll see.
If Trump was in. I
mean, India and Pakistan were trading blows for a little bit. Russia hasn't slowed down on anything.
He did end that.
He didn't end shit. They came to where does this myth come from that Trump is this master ender of anything?
Let me give my position. Okay, I'm not the average MAGA retard. Here's the thing. Both nuclear powers, they knew they would destroy each other.
Yeah.
They need an intermediary to come in. He came in, convenient.
Is Cube also God? Just a question.
And I'm ending it, took credit for it. Cool. That's my position. I think it would have ended anyway.
Sure.
He was able to slide in and get the credit for it because, dude, they both have nukes. They would have cooked each other.
No,
Messi, that's where he said he found out that Nemo was a moderator. NKJV is not the same.
That they just, like you said, they need like an off ramp, right?
Yeah, they need an off ramp, and he was in a convenient position.
Trump's foreign policy, in my opinion, through all 5 years, has been a disaster. I don't know what foreign policy W's.
I think he's better than Biden, dude, and I think he would have done better than Kamala in this situation.
We were involved in less conflict with Biden. The wars that we were involved in were much more justified.
Two wars broke out, man.
Yeah, but they weren't our wars. And arguably, you can point to Trump at the very least for the Israeli one, right? Those Abraham Accords were a big fuck you to the Palestinians who've already been extricated from every other Arab supporter, right? Imagine you go from my allies are Syria, Jordan, all these other Arab states, and now it's like, fuck, my allies are the fucking Putin.
The Abraham Accords. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I've mentioned a million times how the Abraham Accords was a part of it.
But it's pretty crazy to be peace in the Middle East, and then 2 years, 3 years later, it's like, oh shit, biggest terrorist attack all
it's also the occupation. It's also everything else that comes in. Dude, hell, even the red cows that they went and bought from Texas, that was a part of the reason why they attacked.
But I'm saying everything under Trump, he was gung ho with the Saudi Arabia drone striking fucking Yemen. He was cool with just ditching the Kurds in Syria. He didn't give a fuck about any of that.
That's like every president ditches the Kurds. We use them. Hey, fight the Muslims for us, and then we just leave them to dry out.
Kurds in Iraq are a bit happier now than they were under Saddam Hussein.
Oh yeah, they're super happy.
Yeah.
Israel's getting 80% of their oil from them.
He kicked the. he kicked us out of Afghanistan in the dumbest way possible. He basically
no, that was Biden.
Well,
the one we left.
But it was on Trump's negotiated agreement. The Doha Accords agreement was him taking the Taliban, going to Qatar, Qatar, and then basically negotiating a full surrendering without even the Afghanistan government being involved.
American foreign policy, I would say, over the past 20 years, has been bad.
Policy has issues.
It's had
But I'm
problems.
just saying that under Biden, we're like the big stuff we're involved in is like Ukraine and Israel, and
those both broke out under his watch.
broke out is a very one.
I think Biden strongly had a lot of influence, especially on the Ukraine-Russia war. I think he was trying to create a mess for Trump to have to clean up. To be honest with you, I think Biden was in fact influencing that war to be more engaged, so that when he left office, Trump would have to come in and have to deal with that shit. I think that was a setup by the Democrats.
Dimensional way of looking at time, but I'm just saying that like those are the two conflicts we're involved in. Under Trump, it was like 5 of them, and like most of them were bullshit. We didn't need to be doing anything in Yemen with the Houthis, with the weird shit we were doing in Syria. This guy campaigned on like we're gonna take their fucking oil.
I'll say this:
the surrender in Afghanistan was a disaster.
The significant conflicts broke out under Biden's administration, and I get what you're saying. Well, the Abraham Accords added to that. Well, the other thing too is that at least with
No, I think Biden was definitely influencing the war in Ukraine and Russia to be more engaged. He was actually trying to get it as evolved as he could right before he left term, and then he went and pardoned his whole family for the next 10 years. Why would he do that? None of that made sense.
even though I'm critical of Trump for doing this, with the Iranians, he had them sanctioned. So
now, I'm not saying I agree with everything Trump has done. I voted for Trump. But he has done the main thing that he was putting his campaign was running on, which was the illegal immigrants. Now that has, and it's created quite the stir across America, but like he literally campaigned on it and then did it, and then people got mad at him for doing it when he told them he was going to do it.
they were broke, right? They didn't have the money to really be funding all the proxies like they did. So, Hamas wouldn't have had the same level of, okay, let's go ahead and attack them if they didn't have all the financial backing and a strong Iran behind them if Trump weren't. So I don't think October 7th would have happened under Trump.
I saw a lot of October 7th being videos. They were sophisticated. They weren't driving Humvees. They were like fucking Toyota.
Of course. But like what I'm saying is they wouldn't have had a strong Iran to back them in that attack as the way that they did. And obviously with Hezbollah and everything else, because Hezbollah was shooting rockets into Israel like on October 8th, right after.
But I mean, they had like the 3rd largest missile stockpile in the world. That wasn't just because of Iran.
Yeah. But like they were emboldened because they were stronger. So my point is, I think, and you're going to disagree with me on this, I think Trump's foreign policy, though I'm very critical of it. I'm not a magatard. You know this. I still think it's better than Biden.
What's like
and
one
Kamala Harris.
CW that he put in work for it, not like fucking India.
Not the Congo and the Rwandans and shit like that.
Yeah.
Look, you're not going to look at it as a W, but I think the fact that he's even talking to Russia. No, I'm not going to say North Korea. No. But I think the fact that he's at least talking with Russia, at least he's talking with Putin. There's some semblance of mutual respect there to a degree. I do think that can at least the bridge is there. It's just about walking it. Well, he didn't even talk. He didn't even talk to the Biden administration. I think if Kamala were in, this would be.
The Biden was running from Putin. He was scared of Putin.
Even more cooked when it comes to Russia.
But you said mutual respect. Where is the evidence that Putin has any respect at all for Trump?
Yeah, so he actually left the meeting early to say, "Hey, I got to go talk to Trump." Like literally, like a couple days ago.
To go butter him up a little bit, and
I know he did fly to the U.S. to come meet with Trump.
And go bomb Ukraine like 20 times harder the next day.
Again, no. But the point I'm trying to make is
Trump himself has truth out like 15 times. These motherfuckers keep bombing Ukraine.
He did it in public. Again, I'm not saying it's fantastic, but what I am saying it's better than not having any talks at all, right? Like
100%, because when you stop talking, that's when the war gets escalated. When you can't have a conversation no more, that's when the fighting starts. So we need to find a way to continue to have conversation and create dialogue so that we can come to some type of understanding.
The step one to diplomacy is talking, and with the Biden administration and if Kamala Harris were in, they wouldn't even be talking.
Zero talking.
Step one to humiliation is also talking, though, right? Like it's a big W that Putin's like, I just talked to this fucking retard, and then I like did 10x more missile attacks the next day, and he didn't do fuck all about it. Like that looks good for Putin, right?
Well, here's the other thing. Remember, we backed Ukraine when they did their drone strike on Russia. That was embarrassing for them, where we destroyed a bunch of their fighters.
But isn't that why Trump was talking about giving Israel the Tomahawks? And that Russia would be scared of the Tomahawks? I I haven't seen that followed through yet. I need to look into that.
Jets. Remember that when Ukraine did the same thing that the Mossad did with Iran. It was like
We destroyed a bunch of fighter. Wait, when?
okay, so like I don't know if you heard about this story. A couple like a month ago.
I know about the drones. The
Yeah,
attacks,
when Ukraine was behind enemy lines and they were able to basically So that was embarrassing for Russia, right?
Sure.
And we obviously funded that. So like
Did we obviously fund it? I mean,
yeah, dude.
I think this was like a manpower attack. This wasn't like an ultra sophisticated technology attack. This was like a
no, it was sophisticated. They were behind enemy lines and they were able to launch the drones to go ahead and attack the
Yeah,
planes.
I understand, but it was like
That's all our weapons, dude. All our shit.
It was drones. There wasn't like these weren't like $billion. It was like a years-long project of like assembling stuff behind enemy lines. I'm just saying it wasn't like this was like a $5 million missile every time. It was like a true
But
technology.
that's our intelligence. That's our, we're the ones telling them how to set up and everything. Like, dude, it's all us. Like the Ukrainians.
I don't believe that. I bet that right now.
CIA is 100% super involved in this conflict.
I don't.
In the end, Ukraine is gonna like. They could easily end up losing this battle. Over time, because they're getting weaker as it goes on. The longer it goes on, the more it favors Russia than it does Ukraine.
Them all kinds of intelligence.
I don't even know how much we could coach them in terms of because the type of warfare that they're participating in has never been seen on the planet. Like, all this drone back and forth and shit. They're probably getting like new methods and intelligence and ways to do this shit that like nobody's conceived of. I'm sure we're collecting data, but I don't know how hand in hand we are with them on everything.
Well, no, we're dude. We're literally our CIA guys are over there. Like literally, the only difference is like it's not our guys that are operating, the weapons and shit like that. But in some cases where the Ukrainians don't know how to operate it, our guys are operating it. Like we're as close as you can be to the conflict without actually being in the conflict. And I think that's another big problem why diplomacy is failing, because it's like, well, you just launched an attack where you destroyed a bunch of my nuclear capable fighter jets. So it's like,
to be fair, they left when they did those attacks. Those are the only planes they left alone. They didn't attack the nuclear capable ones explicitly, which was interesting.
no, they did attack a couple.
They didn't. They left just those planes alone because there's a lot of theorizing and speculating on why they did it. And the idea is that they're
because all the outlets I looked at, they said they destroyed the nuclear capable ones, man.
I mean, we can fact check, put it on screen.
And that's fine. It's not that big a deal. But like I'd like to to see where you saw that. But like
like Russia would understand us helping Ukraine because it's all in our interest. Like we all know what we're doing. We have to be like when Iran bombs a U.S. base.
Trespassers versus debts are two different things. Unfortunately,
And
those are two different things.
They said that we completely and totally obliterated that, and we know they didn't, and we'll make a little statement, but we're not going to sit here and lord it over them because they need to have that win. They need to have that to maintain their legitimacy as like a regime, right?
Notified us, right? It's not real.
2 hours before, yeah.
It tells you the influence on the Bible, Messi. That changes the influence on the Bible, unfortunately.
Time people are evacuating beforehand, right? It's like when Putin says, we're going to do shit, and like people are freaking out because nukes are moving around. It's like, well, they're doing it above ground. We can see everything. Like that's good. That's okay for us,
I still think that though this is bad, don't get it twisted. I think like what we got going on with Russia, Ukraine, and the fact that they're trying to push this bill through is an L. I still think it's head and shoulders above anything Kamala Harris would have been able to do or what the Biden administration was doing, because at least they're talking. Yes, it's not going as well as we want. Obviously, Trump is visibly frustrated, but step one with diplomacy is talking. The Biden administration wasn't even talking.
In 3 years, nothing gets resolved.
Then I owe you a beer.
Okay.
Then I owe you a beer.
I owe you a beer.
You said you're not a fan of the Big Beautiful Bill?
It's a hard world to be in. Now you know how we felt defending Biden, okay? Yeah, it's awkward being a man, right? Did I go to these Trump debates and I'm like,
You say now you know how we felt defending Biden? That's crazy. No, y'all were defending a man with dementia. They couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. I don't know how he was ever in any type of shape to lead a country. He couldn't lead.
what do we got on the... What's Politico reporting today? And then the Trump guy's like, oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
No,
okay.
yeah, I don't care. What
Look,
Trump
with
says.
every
I
bill,
care
there's
what
because
Trump
it's so
does.
goddamn big. Like you can't agree or like everything with it. Obviously, I'm pro immigration, right? No, not pro immigration enforcement. Excuse me. So I do think that the deportations is a good thing. You might disagree with me on that. I don't know if you want to. What your position is on that?
My big issue when it comes to stuff is that like regardless of what you feel, Trump is politically fucking retarded. Like he picks way too many fights. He can't focus on anything. He doesn't know how to get like PR wins. The big issue that I
I
have
see
is
what you mean.
when the left like fights against him, like ICE is important, like a border is important. Having like an actual immigration policy where we know who's in the country, like these are important things. And because Trump is
that's
so
so progressive. Like
yeah,
he
but,
believes in
because
immigration.
Trump is so fucking unhinged. Like I see where people are coming from when they're like abolish ICE and shit. Like it's pretty crazy that there are kids drowning in Texas, and then there are like horses like walking through
It'll be a little later after the video, Avery.
MacArthur Park in fucking LA as a show of, and it's like, what the fuck? This is the gayest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. What are we doing right now? These guys are kitted out in like body armor. There's like they're Ukrainians in ditches that see how our like feds are equipped, like doing nothing in California. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So like. I think there is a good conversation we had about immigration, and I think
Sure.
it pushed
Do you
up
want
even.
to go into immigration? It's up to you.
We could, but I think that whole conversation is even further away now after the unhinged shit that Trump has done everywhere. Like I think it's like fuck for a while now.
Okay, so my position is I think he's actually fairly good.
I said it a little shortly after the video. So like after the video, I'll probably talk a little bit, and then I'll be getting off.
On immigration, I don't like what he's doing with the anti-Semitism bills, like deporting fucking college students. I think that's retarded. But you know, the stronger border, obviously, we know that you know, illegal entries are down like something wild, like 90% or whatever. But I do think, in the whole, though I'm critical of the deporting of college students because I think those resources could be better allocated to actually going after illegal aliens. I think in general, enforcing immigration is a good thing, something that we haven't done for a very long time. And you know, outside of like, you know, people say, oh, well, Obama, you know, did a bunch of deportations. Yeah, like catching people at the border and releasing them are two different things. It's not the same as like interior action enforcement. And when it comes to like interior enforcement, you know, that is where Trump like shines compared to other places.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
other politicians.
hopefully they don't listen to this podcast at all. But like, I think that Trump could have gotten the easiest W's in the world by going to sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, and just sending the feds into like prisons, state prisons, and being like, we're going to do paperwork check on everybody, and we're going to, you know, dump these guys out. They could have gotten a lot of deportations. It would have been probably cheap, like compared to what they're doing now.
Well, the problem with the sanctuary cities is they don't even like they don't. And I can tell you this from like my professional experience, bro. They don't even honor the detainers. Like I remember when I was on a job, someone would be illegal. Hey, I want you to hold this person for us. They let them go.
For sure. But that's why I'm saying going to prisons where there are already people already arrested and shit, and then start doing like background checks there. I'm just saying it would have been cheaper than what they're doing now. It would have been really hard.
But they reserve the right to tell the feds you're not coming in here. Like that's how bad it was
Supremacy,
getting.
I don't know.
That's how bad it was getting.
There for like deportation related stuff. Even if they did say that, in my mind, it would still be a W because Trump could very easily say, "We're just trying to go into a prison. We just want to deport the felons, the violent criminals, and they're harboring them." Because now we can't say we just want people to
Yeshua.
be able to work and be happy and take care of their families.
Kind of like,
but when you're running around like raiding like fucking Home Depots and deporting, you know, like people to fucking El Salvador, like the fuck, like he's like.
No, yeah, Stars. I'm not a big fan of Destiny either.
Like picking the most evil shit to make everybody fucking hate him for no reason. And it's like,
well, that's the thing with immigration, right? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, yeah, you're gonna go after people that are just like hardworking in here, but they're here illegally, man. And this has been a long time that we've been kind of being like compassionate, like, oh my God, we don't want to be offensive, but it's like they got to get removed. And like when it comes to the thing with the state, so there's this myth, right? Like, oh, the feds can trump the state or whatever. State law enforcement actually has far more authority than people think, and they can literally tell you, go pound sand, you're not walking in this fucking jail, and you can't go in there and be like, well, you need to let me in. Like, no, the feds don't have as much authority as people think. Like
they might not, but the thing is that like in matters of border enforcement, this is where the executive is at its peak when it comes to power and enforcement and everything.
Yes, on the border they have way more power. But here's the thing: I'm talking about interior enforcement.
No, I understand, but I'm saying you could probably make like immigration-related arguments when it comes to like state prisons and stuff. I'm sure that they could make the argument, or they could set up the same way they do for state courthouses, where they just wait outside the courthouse and when a motherfucker comes out.
Yeah, and that's like, a big reason why they have to do that. Because
sure, but they could do it in fucking prisons and state prisons. Like it's an easy optical win. You look bad defending it, right? Like
yeah, I don't respect them either, for sure.
It looks bad to throw people out of Home Depot, no matter what. Even conservatives are like, you know, you don't want to like. But if they just do it out of prisons, it'd be so much more popular.
Yeah,
and like at the end of this term, Trump is not deporting a significant number of people. It's not going to happen.
And here's the
right?
thing. Wait, here's the thing. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, hey, just sit out the side of jail and stuff. But the problem is that they get released at irregular times. You don't know when they're going to be released. They'll release them without telling you.
Stop. $168 billion. Put a cop in the back and in the front. You got the time to have these guys work doubles. You can do it. He allocates so much money. If he wanted to do it, he could do it. Okay.
No. Well, here's the thing. Again, with
this guy deployed the national. There's like only 600 freaking Marines to California. He can send some feds to sit outside.
I've always heard for his name to be Yeshua.
In LA jail for 2 months.
Again, with ICRO, because they're the main people that have Title 8 or whatever, there's a certain amount of manpower, etc. Yes, you can designate people to have Title 8 authority and put them out there and everything. But we're talking about every single jail. That'd be an enormous amount.
Pick 2.
Okay, Destiny.
Hold on. Keep in mind, you're telling me that they can't do this at the same time where I watched like the fucking like a Baghdad's invasion fleet like drive down LA to go surround MacArthur Park for a 3-hour horse gallivanting. Did you watch the videos of this?
No, I did see some of it. Yeah.
And they caught 0 fucking people. However much money they spent on that, they could have monitored 1 prisoner for 1 month. I'm sure they could have.
No, of course. What I'm saying is that like that's like, do you really want to put 6 guys at the jail 24 hours waiting for this guy to walk out the jail? Like, is that a good use of resources?
Isn't it a better use of resources than the MacArthur Park deployment?
Well, again, it depends. It always depends on who the alien is.
Yeah, like that. That's a splitting hairs debate. I feel like they're having right there.
Like, what's their background like? Are they a criminal alien? Every case is obviously dependent on the person's criminal history, who they are, how many times they've been apprehended, whatever. But I do think in general, what we got going on with immigration is better than before. I know some of it is sensationalized to you, but I do think like
Destiny does talk way too fast.
Like the El Salvador shit is unhinged. Why?
Why
are we deporting anybody to El Salvador?
Yeah, I mean, he was also he was also an ex-law enforcement officer, if I'm not mistaken, Myron Gaines. So I'm sure that he's a little more well-spoken. Plus, he runs a more formal podcast where he actually, I don't know, it's hard to say. He covers a wide variety of content, from law enforcement to court document stuff to different cases to political. He covers Homeland Security agent. That's right. Yeah, I know it's some type of officer, whether it was a police officer or a Homeland Security officer or agent or whichever. But I know it's some type of enforcement. I hadn't watched a whole bunch of his stuff, but I know I've seen his channel around way more than I've seen Destiny's. But Destiny is not as well spoken, for sure.
Why would we make a deal to send them to their special prisons and paying them for it? It's like,
well,
we don't have to. It's just like unhinged.
Well, yeah, I see your position. But the thing is that like a lot of countries, some countries like won't take them back, right? Like I'll give you an
I thought we
example.
had a master deal maker.
No, these have been put, like some of these countries, like Cape Verde. I'll give you a perfect example. Like Cape Verde, for example, won't take their aliens back. Like in Boston, they get caught all the time for being in gangs and committing violence. And since Cape Verde won't take them back, ICE can't do anything with them. They go back out into the streets.
I don't believe that they won't take it back. I think if the United States
a lot of countries don't take them
we're
back.
flying, no, 0 chance. The U.S. says we're flying. I'm telling you that from the U.S. person,
Definitely.
if the United States were to say, hey, we're bringing these people back to your country and you're going to fucking take them, there's 0 world where the country's like, oh, actually, fuck you, U.S. You guys can keep them. We're not taking shit from you. No shot. Just like with Diego Garcia,
telling you, bro.
when they're like, oh, no, we can't get him back. He's in El Salvador. There's nothing we can do. And all of a sudden,
Well, we knew
they
could have got him back. But I'm saying like again, there's some countries where they won't take him back. But I'm telling you, Cape Verde's one of them. There's more. I just can't.
Go drop him off at the UN. Give him to the Hague if you want. Fuck it. Like, there's no shot. You're telling me that the United States couldn't deport somebody to a country because they have more power.
I'm telling
in that
you.
case, then we should say fuck it to all deportation. We should not do anything. If
There's
the US is just
sensitive
fucking
diplomacy things. Like there's countries where.
You think Trump is the sensitive diplomacy guy?
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying in general. These things.
Yeah, Destiny had a little gotcha moment there. I do not think Trump is a big diplomacy guy.
Been in place forever. There's
But he's efficient enough to be able to do what he does, for sure.
some countries that simply won't take their people back, which is why you have to remove them sometimes to other countries where they might have an agreement where they can get them back to that country. Does that make sense? I'm going in the weeds here.
It's like a third-party extradition. It's like you got to transfer them somewhere because you don't have a relationship with this place, but they have a relationship with this place. So you transfer them to that place because you do have a relationship with them. And then they can therefore transfer them back to where they go, who they have the relationship with that you didn't have a relationship with. I see Myron's point there.
No,
because this immigration.
That's fine. I'm saying grammatically what you're saying makes sense. I'm just saying that, like,
No, yeah, they're definitely starting to get more into a debate fashion for sure.
realistically, that's not how it would work, right? Like, if I had the passwords to some horribly incriminating piece of information on you, and then I had the best password protection shit on my computer in the world, and then we have a debate on whether or not you can get that information on my computer, what would you say?
I'm a bit confused by your.
If I had
I'd say Destiny, you sound like a fucking hacker right now.
incriminating information on you
course,
in my
of course.
computer,
Yep.
and I had it locked down so nobody could get in but me, would you agree that you could never get into my computer?
Probably not. No.
No, you would. You would just beat the shit out of me until I gave you the password.
No.
Well, if that's the route we had to go.
Okay.
So you wanna say-
well, you wanted me to use violence.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we're the United States. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
We use violence everywhere. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that, like, if you want to say, like, well, diplomatically there are issues and people don't want to say blah 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 blah, and it's like in a sense that's kind of true. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, if the United States were saying you're taking these
For
motherfuckers
sure.
back, they will
For
take
sure.
them back.
But again, the aliens got to be worth it. It's got to be a big deal. Like it's got to be. Here's the thing. They don't
Yeah,
want to.
like the amount you've got to invest into that for that, it's easier and less cost effective to just transfer them to a place that has a mutual treaty with the place that you don't have a treaty with. Like, to me, that just seems an easier route than trying to create a whole conflict and stir and damn near a mini war out of trying to extradite somebody. Like, I don't know.
Go ahead and exercise, our weight and our like, hey, you need to take them back unless it's really worth it. So in general,
Is the El
most of
Salvador
time-
ship been worth it?
Well, I'm not talking about El Salvador. I'm talking about in general. Like there are countries
What's good, Walt? What's good?
out there that simply won't take their people back. So what ends up happening is, and I'm telling you this from an immigration standpoint, like they're not going to go and fight and be like, take this guy back, blah, blah. It's a pain in the ass. So instead, they'll remove him to another country. That country might have an agreement with that individual, with that other country that won't take him back from us, and then they'll give him back that way.
No, that's why I asked if Cube was also God. Because based off the type of conversation, I was wondering if that was the same person as God.
And then
So that's the
kicking
way
them
that
out
they,
the-
that's the
Either JOD or GOK. JDK.
way that they get around it.
I think by the end of the 4 years, he's not going to have deported a significant amount of people.
Well, a lot of people aren't coming in too. So
Well,
that plays
period.
into it.
Yeah, a little bit, sure. But I
Yeah,
mean, if
that's
we have
huge.
anywhere from 13 to 20 million, depending who you ask people here,
A big amount of the deportations people talk about, a lot of it is just what's called
Turnarounds on the
ERs.
border.
Expedited removals, ERs. So, but I do think in general, I think what he's doing with immigration is good in general. Like, there's some
even though by
fuck-ups.
the end of his 4 years, we're not going to deport a significant amount of people, they're still all basically going to be here.
Well, deterrence is important, and people not coming in.
Damn it. No. Alright.
Or they could set up the same way they do for state
They
force
could,
houses,
but-
where they resources in the MacArthur Park deployment. To be fair, no. At it with the stick approach. Like again, by the end of the time, we're not deporting 1 million people that are in here right now in the interior, except for maybe some of the people that came in.
What up, Walt? And I appreciate that, Walt. I appreciate that. And I hear your point, Stars. I hear your point. It depends on your interest, Stars. Q, didn't? I'm not sure. Cube, I'm not sure. Maybe. Looks like there's at least 40 minutes, but depending on the amount of times I pause it and don't pause it.
For the not amnesty, the asylum seeking shit. Maybe those guys will leave.
Yeah.
The problem is like never getting fixed, and then it just becomes like a virtue signal thing on both sides forever, and we don't get any closer to solving it. I think.
Yeah. So my thing is, I like your idea. I would put a little bit stricter. Hey, you need to be extremely productive.
Now, I think he talks more like God than he does JDK, but or maybe it's CMX.
For you to stay here, you need to have show significant ties to community.
Questions you would have to start asking him to find out if that's the case. You would have to see if he likes shroom or not.
Are you contributing?
Saying maybe to what?
What are you doing specifically, etc.?
Oh, maybe to JDK getting banned? I mean, that just kind of tells me the group base that where you come from. I could tell that you're an against shroom person.
And if that
Shroom also ain't here though, so.
individual is, obviously contributing to the country from a significant standpoint, and they've been here for a significant amount of time, then we can, figure something out. But I do think that, just giving everybody a pass just to stick around when they're not contributing is a problem. And I do think that, we should be more on the deportation side if they're not contributing. And I do think when it comes to visas, because we're not just getting beat when it comes to, immigration just on people coming in illegally. I think our visa system is super flawed. People abuse the student visa system. People abuse the marriage system where they, commit marriage fraud. So we have to redo our.
Shroom hasn't really been on this channel. I think Shroom's only been on this channel. You're talking about on the other channel. You're not talking about on this channel, Cube. You're talking about the other channel. Yes, Cube. I believe Cube is either God or JDK or CMX. Or for all I know, I don't think JDK is the same as God and CMX. I think CMX and God are the same. And Cube may be God. I don't know if he's JDK though. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that that's the grouping that I'm close to. It's close to that grouping.
Entire immigration system.
But that, our immigration
I think we need an immigration moratorium for at least.
That channel has more growth to it than this channel does. Maybe I'm Elijah. Maybe you are, but maybe so is God.
Least 1 to 5 years, bare minimum.
that would be scary for a variety of reasons, but the immigration is also absurdly fucking complicated. When I got married to Melina, we did the K1 visa.
Sorry to hear that, man.
What? Listen, hey, it was a fun 5 years. Listen, relations come and go, it's fine. But when we were doing our immigration stuff, I think the way that it works for the K1 visa is when we got engaged, she could come here and then had 90 days for us to get married. And then once we got married, technically you file, I don't remember the form, 184, I'm making numbers up.
I'm not acting like anything. I'm just saying who the grouping that I thought you were coming from.
But
484 or something like that.
It's something that you file for adjustment of status change.
Yeah,
basically.
485 or something like that.
But while you're waiting for that, between the K1 visa expiration and then while we were married, waiting for that change of status, technically she's here illegally. So like she couldn't leave the country because if she tried to come back, they wouldn't let her. And if she did get caught anywhere, technically she could get expelled because she's not technically supposed to be here. And I feel like there's a lot of weird immigration shit like that where you're in this weird kind of in between
There's
worlds.
lots of where you're in limbos. Yeah, for sure.
There was that one story with the Iranian wife. There was some guy who was married to some Iranian chick who was there for, I guess her LPR or green card got revoked like 15 years ago, and they were working with like the State Department and like a lawyer to kind of get it back, and then randomly.
I didn't say that it made a difference, but the difference that it does make is the conversations I'm having with one person when they come in their account on a different channel and they try to have a different conversation. I know that I'm still talking to the same person. That's the difference that it makes.
She just gets like deported. She has like a family.
It does hold that weight of importance because I know who I'm talking to. Instead of thinking that I'm talking to multiple different people, I know that I'm talking to one person on multiple accounts so that I can still maintain a level of conversation that I continued off of what I've already known based on talking with the other accounts. So yes, there is a difference.
There's like a normal woman who's like not doing any weird shit at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's so much like fucking shit. And that's another thing that's frustrating is if you don't want to talk about immigration reform, which would
I don't hide who I am. So when you're talking to me, you're talking to me. So you know you're talking to me because it's me here on camera because I put myself for the exposure. So me liking to know who I'm talking to, if it's the same person on multiple accounts or different people on different accounts, is a benefactor. It doesn't matter if it's detective work. It's called transparency. I'm being transparent, so I expect transparency back. That's a mutual respect thing.
include our visas and everything else. It's like, what the fuck are we?
What up, Madison? Welcome in.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, because I realize that, like, obviously we got to do deportation, whatever, but I'm also on the other side, like, we need to fix the entire system because the system
Carnage is just going to say that to everybody pretty much.
is cooked, which is why we have all these problems. And we're not just getting beat because everyone looks at it like the border. That's just one component. We're getting beat on visas, with green cards, with how people adjust, all different types of stuff, right? The marriage one, the K1 visa route that you gave, dude, there's an entire illegal organization.
Because if you ask me, sometimes detective work is needed when deception is being had. So, like I said, transparency is what helps create the mutual respect.
That literally,
I'm transparent. I show who I am. I give my exposure out there. So therefore, you have my level of respect of me being transparent. So yeah, I mean, to expect the same back is, I don't see a big ask.
They're like, oh yeah, I'll get you a K1 visa and get you married for $20,000. Like, people are exploiting this stuff. So we need to reform the entire immigration thing. I think we need 1 to 5 year moratorium at least to fix it. But yeah,
The reason why I don't like the moratorium stuff is we're already attacking so much our harvesting of international talent with the whole visa shit for students.
Point being, Q, and the point being is, how does it matter how many people are in here? I know I am giving him the attention that he wants, Carnage. You're right, but how does all right? So what I asked has no effect, but how many people in here also has no effect. Because I'm being transparent with the people that are in here, whether it's 1, 2, 200, 1,000. It don't matter. My transparency level will remain the same. So that's why I do ask for the same transparency back.
And the attacks on our institutions, which are
I think the HLP is a problem. I think we need to focus more on getting O1s over here, people that like have actual, real, exceptional skills, not Jeets that are going to come in and code.
I mean, coding is the future. As much as people don't like it, like,
well, their coding sucks. We need Americans.
If that was true, then we'd hire Americans. No offense, but American coders gotta suck. I think a lot of people got
tricked. They're expensive. It's because they're expensive.
Well, sure, but I mean, like, what does that say?
I'm only not making sense to you because you're wanting to be deceptive. Being deceptive is no way to earn any type of respect.
Well, they want to cut corners and they want to pay them less, and then also they can put them on a slave contract. Hey, you got to work here for 4 years, and the H-1B visa.
Why not just be who you are?
It's a scam, and Vivek is a retard. But yeah,
I'm just saying that, like, if you go around the world.
No, I said that was the friend group. I said I didn't know who or which person you may be. But just because I said multiple channel names doesn't mean that those are a bunch of different people. That could just be 2 people.
For all the people, Muslims that hate America, people in China that hate America, everybody hates America, whoever hates America, nobody's looking at America and being like, oh yeah, like Harvard and Yale and.
I know who he is. I know the accounts that he has. So there is a level of transparency.
Columbia, what horrible aspects of the United States. Like, these are like our shining star, like, schools that are like super under attack by
But that'll be the last I engage in that. I'm going to go back to the video.
this administration. And then a lot of the, like, we agree on this. I can always agree with you when Israel's involved, if I'm on the other side of it. Like, this deporting people over fucking, like, pro-Palestine protests and shit. Like, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah,
like, it's so fucking stupid.
And my position on that isn't even really from like a Hamas reason. My thing is because it's antithetical to the First Amendment. That's why I'm so against it. Like, these people are here legally. We could be using those resources to go after people that are here illegally.
Sure.
And you're going after them for using literally the First Amendment
to go after.
That's my problem.
To protest Israel is fucking
like
stupid.
And here's the thing: like, these people that come in and say the stupid shit about global intifada, I don't agree with it. But like, my thing is like, they should have the right to say it because it's the United States of America.
There's also, and we forget this because it's the social media era and everything else, and every person has the same power online. But like, I reiterate this a lot. Like, people from 18 to 22 are fucking retarded. No offense, but they are. So like, kids are gonna say retarded shit.
I agree with
they can put a camera in front of them. It could be online forever. Like, if my
What up, Billy? Welcome.
shit from when I was 14 or 15 was online forever, like, I would be.
I was literally talking about that with a guy that like social media is like, it's cooked a lot of young
it's
people.
It's crazy because like, if you think of like Destiny, Stephen Bennell, you think of like, like Dean Withers or whatever.
Did he not just mention his own name? Like Destiny, like Stephen Bennell? You are Destiny. Did you just speak about yourself in the third?
Yeah, it's cooked a lot of young
it's
people.
It's crazy because like, if you think of like Destiny, Stephen Bennell, you think of like, like Dean Withers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have like voices online. Dean is like, this is a 20-year-old guy,
Dean is obnoxiously annoying. Just because he's your protege doesn't mean he's worth mentioning.
And I'm 36, and like, somebody can be 55, and at the end of the day, it's just how many followers you get, how much attention you get. So yeah, cracking down on like a 20-year-old for saying some retarded.
To fight wars for other countries that hold no effect or benefit for his family, for what?
Shit at a protest is like, it's just self-defeating, I think.
Yeah, it's stupid, and again, it's antithetical to the First Amendment. And us doing it, like, it's crazy to me how like they could come in and say, I hate Trump, nobody cares.
I think he'd better off be going to sign up for ICE and get that $50K bonus and help get illegals off the street.
I hate Netanyahu, jail, deported, so that's my thing.
Yeah, I think all of us here are against cancel culture.
Yeah.
All 3 of us have been canceled.
Are you pro-censor? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's going to be a lot more nuanced than that, but I don't know how you could say you're MAGA and anti-cancel culture, considering Trump is literally writing executive order.
Myron said that he was not MAGA, so he's just more on the conservative side as far as being a Republican. But he said he's not a MAGA, like big MAGA guy. So why are you calling it like, I don't know.
I wouldn't
Going
say I'm
after
MAGA.
lawyers,
I
it's just-
don't, you're not MAGA either, right?
You know, look, I like Trump. There, you know, I voted for him. There's some things that I don't like that he does. I'm able to be impartial and be critical of dumb shit that he does. Like that's one thing between me and like other people that like I love Trump. They'll never criticize him. That's stupid. There's things that he does that I like, and these things that he does that I don't like, and I will call him out.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
Let's talk about this New
Sounds like he's more for the truth, which is what matters the most. Like, be for the truth.
York City mayor. Destiny, you support this guy
You do not have to be law enforcement to join ICE.
or what?
I'll support probably whatever Democrat gets to the primary. I mean, the guy
Not right now. ICE is looking for anybody and everybody.
is significantly to the left of me, but the way that I see it
You're
is
not a socialist, Destiny?
no, not even close. But the way that I see it is that left people tend to not be like authoritarian dictators like Trump is. So my guess is there's going to be some stuff that he wants to do that he just can't.
Well, Destiny, let me ask you this.
Yeah?
Because you're on the left. What do you think about your party going further and further towards socialism and further and further left?
I think that online, I think in a lot of the media spaces, it looks like that.
AOC, Bernie, etc.
Bernie
they're
is
going to run.
Yeah, but Bernie and AOC are like hated now by these like far lefties online. AOC has moderated her position a lot since she first came into office for sure. Bernie has been Bernie for fucking.
She's probably going to run 28.
Maybe, but like, where are the rest of these guys? Like Rashid Tlaib and the other two Justice Dems. I don't even remember their names. Like nobody knows these people anymore. Like no more got elected to Congress. Like that movement kind of died. I mean, in New York they ran Cuomo. I mean, why? I mean, and then you had Bendami probably ran a good campaign. I mean, is that
He's going to win.
probably?
I think he's going to win.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said,
He's
like,
saying everything that, you know, I did a whole tweet on this, like why he's winning. Like, again, I don't agree with his political views, but he's literally saying everything that people in New York want to hear, right? Fuck Israel. Just shit's too expensive. Let's go ahead and make the grocery stores owned by the city so you can afford it. Like he's saying all the things that New Yorkers want to hear.
I think half the shit will be impossible to do.
Oh, he's not going to be able to do it. No.
And I think like if he does try stuff, I mean, either some of it will work and then I'll change the way that I view some of it, or some of it will fail and I just.
Yeah, because they are trying to recruit law enforcement officers, but that's not the only. It doesn't say only law enforcement officers. So, yes, maybe that is what they're mainly looking for, but they will take anybody. Hence, why they have a $50,000 sign-on bonus. As long as you could go through their screening process, you could sign up to be ICE.
More stuff that I can point to and go,
And the
this is
fact that he's
retarded.
in New York City, like, yeah, it's going to be so hard for him to do anything. And the fact that he's like going at the Israel lobby in New York City, which is like the most populated Jewish population in the United States, they're going to fight back. I mean, like Bill Ackman right now is getting like a big treasure chest of money to fight him off.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But I do think he's going to win. But I think it's going to be nearly impossible for him to get anything done. So
Newsom and Cali going against Trump. Where are you guys siding on that one?
Obviously Newsom, my boy.
Well, I mean, Madison, there's going to be a lot of military, political. I mean, that's a lot of what this channel is going to be talking about. It's going to be mostly political, religious. It's going to talk about the government. It's going to talk about the military, the current events. That's the whole point of this channel.
you know, I think California's cooked, man. I just, you know, and it's showing like we've seen a huge explosion in population in Texas and then a huge explosion of population in Florida, right? Like we see in Austin, Texas, the two hottest real estate markets, right? I know this is an investor, Austin and like Miami pretty much over the past couple of years. It's cooling off now, but I think the people leaving says everything you need to know. Vegas also exploded in, I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
Vegas has exploded in population.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like it's not like these places are exploding because they're amazing places to live or they're popular. It's because California's gotten so expensive because so many people live there already. So like I know in Miami people are complaining about increased cost of housing.
Yeah, I mean, cost of living is going to go up when the demand goes up for sure, but it doesn't help that the economy's continue to rise.
In Austin, they definitely complain about it. So like they're on their way to the same problems more or less in terms of stuff being unaffordable or.
Yeah, but the point is that I think the point is that blue cities tend to get expensive and then drive people out when they go to red states.
My thing is like if California was in so much trouble,
Miami is a city, yes, in Florida.
Especially because of things like illegal immigration and everything. Why is Trump so keen on deporting people from California? Why not focus your efforts on places like Texas where where you've got good relationships with the governors and the leaders, and then let California fail?
I think Donald Trump is focusing on deporting people across the United States. It's not just in California. Portland, where they're doing it, is in Oregon. Yes, it's on the West Coast, but Chicago, they're doing it, is in the Midwest. North Carolina, they're doing it. They're doing it all over the United States. It's not just in California.
Like, sure,
because Texas, because I could tell you this again, professional background, but like in Texas, they're far more the local law enforcement. Like, the only city in Texas really that's like lame on this is like Austin, but every other city in Texas, the local sheriffs and everything, they will help with immigration enforcement.
Sure, but I'm saying why not like
But California doesn't.
let them fall to illegal immigration and then come in and.
So yeah, the federal government is going to go more so where they're not getting help from local law enforcement for sure, because they need to. Why would they locate all of their assets over at places where they're getting help? Locate your assets where you need them for the help.
Clean up, basically.
Well, you don't want it to get to that point because then it becomes really tough to actually enforce immigration the way you want. If it becomes too much of a problem.
Washington D.C. is the District of Columbia. It's over here on the East Coast. That's not on the West Coast in California.
You mean? Or
I mean, if you think it's like so deleterious to the state, like why not let them suffer with that?
Get
like
cooked?
Trump likes to play games with FEMA funds all the time. Why not play games with illegal immigrants going to their?
And I mean, it's one thing to like kind of teach them a lesson, but it's another thing to like just let like illegals come in and just like ravage the place.
I mean, I guess
Part of that new deal that they did over there, I don't know why they do a lot of the things they do. I'm not in agreement with a lot of the things they do.
they sell their border.
I'm America first. I'm not American government first. The American government's corrupted.
Enforcement, they could be on the. I mean, it's,
And until they get rid of the deep state, or however deep that deep state goes, and the corruption that the American government has, especially the influence on American politics, they'll never allow the American people to trust them fully because they won't be transparent with the American people. Because the American government doesn't have American people as their first asset of who they're benefiting.
they can do that. So, but
It's tough because like the state isn't helpful, so it's hard for them to do what they want to do. Versus like in Texas, the reason why we don't have these problems is like the sheriffs and the locals are way more happy about that, right? Hell, there's like Texas statute for like smuggling aliens. They never get it prosecuted, but there's a statute on the books.
But I was talking about where illegal immigration is being enforced. So I was talking about across the United States. So when you bring up a particular place, that's the conversation I thought was being had. So that's the conversation I was having.
For it. Even though they don't have Title 8.
What about the Title 6 stuff going on in Cali? Have you guys been following that?
Title 6?
With the transgender stuff?
I have not been
Man, ban that stuff. Get some mental help.
following that.
no, I don't give a fuck about transgender stuff.
Okay, yeah. That's
Destiny said he doesn't give a fuck about transgender stuff. That's surprising. That's very surprising.
that's been over.
Conservatives have been obsessed with that for like 6 years. Oh, fine. I'm over
Yeah.
it.
It's
That's just because he's argued for it for so much that he's just done with it. That makes more sense.
I've even been critical of it. Like it's a 1% issue. It's like, yeah, we can make fun of them for being weirdos and shit, but like there's other stuff to, worry about. What else do we disagree about that we hate each other on, Destiny?
Shit. You guys agreed a lot, to be honest.
Well, I mean, we disagree on like foreign policy and shit in Israel. What else?
You're
Feminism? We've done that so
Even the moderators, like, you guys agreed on a lot.
many times.
You've done the feminism, dating stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
You're against foreign aid just in general, right? I think you came on a few months ago.
Against what?
Foreign aid, like, entirely.
Yeah. I just like foreign aid, especially when it comes to like military funding, I think is like no.
A waste.
Like I don't like foreign aid. I don't like especially when it comes to military.
Okay, well, here's a question. I'm curious.
I have to give you my foreign policy position. I have like a non-interventionist like, mindset when it comes to that.
Fuck that.
Sorry.
I said fuck foreign policy. What as of right now,
Yeah.
if you had to grade this admin for like F is a fail, A is a good job, where would you grade them so far
For foreign policy?
on everything? Like just how happy are you, I guess, with how the Trump admin has gone
That's
so
a good
far?
question.
I'm assuming that
Good
as of right
question.
now, if you could re-vote, you would still vote for Trump over Kamala.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would still
I would definitely still vote for Trump over Kamala. Or Biden.
vote for him over Kamala. I'd give him a C right now,
Okay.
like a C minus, depending on the day.
Okay. And
Right
then
now.
what are you looking for by the end of the 4 years to be like, either I'm glad they finally got this done, this is like they are up to a B or an A, or versus like if they did this, they're like, this was too much, like fuck them, they didn't get this done or that done.
I'm really open that we can like de-escalate or end the conflict in Russia. Oh, sorry, in Ukraine, and like kind of make some type of diplomacy with Russia. the Middle East is cooked, man. Like it's like we've just like completely enabled and emboldened Israel to conduct a bunch of bullshit. They're gonna attack Iran again. That ceasefire is bullshit. So, yeah. The
I agree.
immigration is okay. I think us spending money on going after anti-Semitism is retarded. But yeah, but I like the murder rates.
There's nobody that can screen your comments. There's no moderators in the channel. What are you talking about? You said, Royal, don't be silly. I'm talking about Washington, D.C. as a state, not what coast it's on. Shake my head. All right. You said, why did the USA just give $40 billion to your Argentina? Bro, what? So what is Washington, D.C.? What do you mean it's being screened?
Down, which is good.
There's no moderators on this channel.
The FBI is actually getting out there and like doing real shit versus sitting around and doing,
So if something's being screened, it's YouTube screening it.
let's chase terrorists all day. JTTF never does anything, so it's good that they're actually out there doing shit, helping out with the raids. So, I think these are all good things. Crime is down in general, but yeah.
Same question to you. Where do you rank this administration?
F-, obviously.
Of course.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, of course. It's interesting though because like whoever is like the administration, like the side that's in power, like now the Dems are like going to come at us, right? Like the progressives, like they've been cooking Trump on this Epstein file thing for the days now, right? So I knew it was
Everybody's
coming.
cooking them on it, right?
Yeah, and then when we bombed Iran, they came at us again. Like
I mean, this was the guy who said no new wars, no new wars.
I know.
Again, right?
I knew you were gonna fucking.
Sure. I mean, I think the Eric Adams stuff in New York that's just unbelievable.
He was cooked as soon as he took money from the Turks.
Well, I'm saying the fact that the Trump admin basically blackmailed him, and they're like open about it too. We're like, we're gonna delay all the prosecution until after the election.
They pardoned him, dude. They pardoned him.
But it was the pardon with prejudice only came because that's the only thing the judge would approve. Because he's like, we're not going to do this, without prejudice. You can pursue it again.
Basically,
win the election.
Allow the ICE raids to happen. Don't give us a hard time in New York City.
That's insane. All of the.
I agree with that. I think that was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's even in here right now.
Yeah.
That's why the U.S. attorney resigned for that shit.
A lot of them resigned.
Yeah. She was like, I don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah. The writing executive orders targeting people. I think you want to talk about lawfare? I think that the legal stuff has been insane. Trying to sue like Seltzer because he's not happy with the Iowa polls. All of the weird lawsuits. Like I used to argue against conservatives all the time where I'm like, it's not your First Amendment right to be on social media. And now Trump is like getting all these settlements from his friends who are like, oh, because he's suing like Twitter for banning him because he's saying that violated my First Amendment right.
It's because they were colluding with the government to ban him.
That's not what they were alleging in the civil cases. They were just saying that like his First Amendment right was violated and that's why they banned him. And so they were like, and he got payouts, he got settlements from like 6 different big companies over dumb shit like this. Was it ABC or
How Trump stays rich. How Trump stays rich. No, the fucking earth ain't flat.
NBC where the guy was like, he raped.
I know he signed the executive order, basically like the government can't collude with social media companies to, censor U.S. citizens.
Sure, I guess. Although that never happened, but
yeah, I mean he signed it. That doesn't mean it gets passed. But
no, I know. No, I'm saying that the collusion with the social media companies, with the FBI and all that shit, never really happened. Like none of the Twitter files showed that.
Oh no, I wasn't referring to that.
Sure,
I was referring to him signing the executive order in general.
Sure. Trying to get rid of birthright citizenship through executive order is crazy, I think.
Yeah, I don't even know because
I think he's also a pretty big supporter of the channel as he donated like $75 yesterday.
I was keeping up with that, but I didn't like. I don't know where it's at right now.
That's gonna be litigated.
I know a judge like try to block it.
The fact is that he follows Jesus Christ. That's what matters.
The last I read.
Yeah. That block went away. So
that's part of why going to a church isn't a big deal. As long as you have a relationship with God, that's what matters most. Different churches are going to influence you different ways into different directions, and some of them may be good, and some of them may not be. So I don't need God to speak to me through a pastor when He can speak to me directly.
Now, basically, it would be no more birth by soil until the courts figure it out, which could be 5 or 10 years. So who knows? All the things with the tariffs and the trade deals that aren't materializing, I think it's been a fucking disaster. Blowing up a relationship with.
I think the tariffs idea is good if implemented properly, but the problem is that they just winged it, dude. Like that's the issue. Like,
and especially like it's too many contrary positions. Like if you want to fight with China because you think that's the #1 enemy, fine. But then that has to coincide with the strengthening of our relationship with Canada and Mexico. It can't be fighting with everybody at the same time.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is like, and I know this. I forget where I read this, but like when he first announced the tariffs,
not every church is for good. Not every church is good.
A bunch of companies said, "Hey, we want to have a meeting with Trump at the White House." They showed up.
They want to get reprieve.
Hey, we will go ahead if you're serious about this shit. We'll bring trade back here and we'll start bringing factories, but we need you to commit to this for like the whole time you're
10
here.
years at least.
Like and they couldn't give him a commitment, so it was like, oh my god. So like, what is going on with these tariffs? Is this more of a negotiation tool versus like actually trying to bring trade?
I mean, the tariffs were never meant to be a permanent thing. The tariffs were meant to be a thing to get back on track.
Back, because like if you're going to do the tariffs, you got to do it right. And the thing is that they just winged it, dude. I think if you do it properly, it absolutely can work.
Maybe, but then
but the other thing too, also,
we're all sinners, Cube. You're no better of a sinner than I am. We're all sinners.
so that's like a big red pill that people don't know is like you can't be a huge consumer but then also become a huge producer, because if you're a huge consumer, well, if you produce it, you're gonna and you have the reserve currency, it's too expensive to produce it. Does that make sense? You have to ship it off to other places so that you can continue to just consume at the rate that you consume.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's complicated because there are benefits to that.
The Triffin dilemma is what it's called, basically. You have reserve currency, you're always going to have trade deficit.
But there's a benefit to that as well, in that we can fund a lot of our government without having to do like exorbitant interest rates, because there's always going to be people who want to buy treasury bonds and shit because everybody's holding USD. So
yes.
That's
why Japan started selling their shit, and we were like, they had to back off on the tariffs.
I can joke, and Myron can joke on Twitter because we're just random retweets on Twitter. The president joking about like invading Greenland and invading Panama and Canada's 51st state, like that's really spooky shit to hear from a guy who is otherwise also like very fucking unhinged. So I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of.
I think there's a little bit of a reach there from Destiny for sure.
A lot of not great shit, I would say.
Yeah, no, it could again. I don't know where the fuck that shit came from, but I think that a little bit of Elon in his ear or whatever.
And like being really obsessed with the South Africa shit for like 1 week because Elon was probably talking to him about the white genocide stuff. And well,
he needed to pivot after the H-1B visa debacle.
Sure.
He needed to pivot after that. What's your thoughts on Elon?
I think he's one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if the ketamine like drilled a hole in his prefrontal cortex and he's like a 85 IQ and dropping every day. But
I hate to say that I agree with you on that.
Really? Yeah. It's interesting. Like, if you look at older videos of his,
Elon pissed me off, bro. Like big time. Like fuck it.
Elon got up under their skin.
And go ahead. I'll give my grievances after.
No, like if you look at older videos of his, it seems like he's like. He doesn't talk as like eloquently, but I don't know how to explain this to people. There's a way when somebody's speaking, even if they're like a little autistic, like they're searching for words because they understand the concepts and what they're talking about. And now Elon is just like,
nobody's perfect, Cube.
Like it sounds like a meme, but it says something. If I were to lie to you, okay, about my gym numbers, okay, if I were to my gym numbers, if I were to tell you, like, listen,
you go to the gym though?
Sometimes. If I were to tell you like 3 months ago, okay,
your truth is not everybody's truth.
You know, I could put up like for 1 rep 225, okay?
Yeah.
It's.
I'd be like, no way.
Maybe, but like it's.
Picture didn't happen.
Yeah. There probably is no way that Destiny's putting up 225 on a bench.
Sure, but if I were to tell you I was doing 405, not like it doesn't just say that.
No, I don't think you could do either, Destiny. I don't think you could do 405 or 205 on a bench. I think you could probably not even. I don't think you could bench press your weight, Destiny.
But I'm lying. It says I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
When Elon Musk,
which his weight's probably like 160 to 180,
paid somebody to boost his Path of Exile account, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But when he
that's what him and Osmond were fighting about, right?
Asmongold, yeah.
It was him and Osmond
when
fighting.
He streamed it, and then he started talking through his gear, and it's like, not only are you fucking like, sure, you paid somebody to boost it, whatever, but you think that you can lie about that in front of a bunch of fucking nerd gamers who are grinding.
No, it ain't. It's a correct response.
18 hours a day on this, like it says something about your mind to be that fucking arrogant and stupid. And well, like this America First Party, I don't think Elon realizes. Elon, all of his political clout was on loan from Trump.
Yes.
Without Trump, this America First Party is literally going nowhere.
It's cooked, and that's why he's trying to siphon off. I don't know if you noticed with Thomas Massey, because Thomas Massey has like a very.
Was it on the Iran stuff that he was mad on Trump on?
No, the big beautiful bill.
Oh, it was okay.
And I was explaining to you, like, I see why he's mad, because literally Tesla stock dumped. You know, most people that drive EV cars are Democrats and progressives. You know, conservatives. Most of us think like, EV, what the fuck, like environment.
Regardless of size, most business leaders, like getting into politics is just not good for business.
It's not.
It's not, no matter what. Yeah.
It's terrible. So like he lost billions of dollars in net worth to support hundreds. Yeah, like literally to support Trump. And then he passes this bill. He's like, dude, what the fuck? I put all this work in, and you're just like undoing it with this bill. So obviously, I can see why he's mad. But yes, I see your position where, dude, when you have money like him and whatever he has, fuck you money, like no one ever tells him no. So like you were saying, like
that's a big fact. When you got that kind of money, it's hard to find people that will tell you no.
The degree of mindset you have to like lie about something so
people get too mesmerized by the money.
Fucking trivial says that you literally probably think you're a god and you're a weirdo. But dude, that's all these idiots. Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, whatever. Anytime I hear these tech guys talk, they're fucking weirdos. They speak in a strange manner. Nothing makes sense. They don't say anything.
Something from that software world was weird.
Dude, they're retarded.
I didn't know if like I was either getting like arrogant or
Have
I
you ever
just
listened to Alex Karp talk?
I don't think I've listened to him talk, but I've listened to a lot of the crypto guys talk.
Painful, dude.
But I
He
listen to
doesn't
like
say anything.
Okay, I listened to 10 minutes of Bezos on Lex because I'm like, are all these guys fucking retarded? Bezos knows his shit. That sounds like a guy who like did shit in his life. I'm like,
Okay.
This guy seems like he understands something. Listening to all of the who's the one guy? He looks like fucking Notch, the Minecraft maker.
Peter Thiel, retard.
There's another Mark Andreessen or whatever. Yeah, these guys are all like, and like they talk like they think that. Yeah. It's like when you meet some kid who's like, oh, I've got like net worth $5 million and I'm 25 and I can coach you on like finance. Like, oh, wow, how'd you make your money? And it's like, I bought Bitcoin and forgot about it. And
Yeah.
Bro, you got lucky.
Yeah.
Cash that shit out, shut the fuck up, and go be happy that you got lucky as fuck because you don't know anything about what you're talking about. And like, the whole tech.
Yeah, I would agree with Destiny on that. Just because you got lucky on a cash out don't mean you know how to do finance.
World feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, and it's even worse because they can't even talk properly to like make you think that they're intelligent. They're retarded. It's a bunch of word salad. So
they don't have any of the charisma either, which is a thing they're not realizing. Again, Elon Musk is a weirdo. Like that's a guy that conservatives will not like without Trump.
Did you see him at the event where he pulled out the chainsaw? He said, "The chainsaw's a bureaucracy," and I was like, "This guy's so fucking."
Was that the same one where he had the sunglasses on?
Yes.
He was high as fuck for that.
Dude, yeah, dude, like, and he couldn't get people to like. You probably know this. He couldn't get a clearance for a long time. Like, you couldn't get a clearance because he does drugs.
Right?
I feel like the cringiest thing I ever had somebody point out to me. You know that jump he used to do all the time, right? When he would jump on stage.
Oh yeah, and his belly hangs out and shit.
Do you know why he does? Do you know why he does that fucking jump?
Why?
He's making a fucking X.
Oh my god.
And if you go and look at picture after picture, I'm like, oh
Wait,
my
how
god.
do you know that?
Somebody emailed me like, bro, look at like there's like 10 pictures. He's trying to make the X when he jumps, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's why he looks so fucking goofy. But his kid, that one with the weird name, he calls him X. That was the first letter. He bought that X domain in like '97, and he renamed Twitter X and SpaceX, and he's like a retard. He's like an actual retard.
Yeah, just one of these like people that like think.
Yeah, that sounds quite retarded, to be honest.
Their god, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
I was going to talk to Joe Rogan on More Gamer Shit. He's like, yeah, pro gamers should, like everybody that does surgery should learn how to play pro games because he said they have a 20 millisecond reaction time. And it's like, reaction time for humans is like, I think 120 is the theoretical max because that's how long it takes for the ion channels to trip, like 10, 20 milliseconds. Like, to even say that you've never played a game in your life because it's impossible to react to anything. He's just so
He'll talk about things that he doesn't know about in an authoritative manner, and then anyone that actually knows what the fuck they're talking about, like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But it's so nuanced that only a small group of people will know about it to call him out on it. And then if you do call him out on it, you're like, oh, shut the fuck up.
But then
like,
now changed because he jumped into so many different topics. When he was talking about Twitter, he was like, yeah, some actual software dev hopped on, and he was like, we need to redo the whole Twitter stack. And the guy's like, what do you mean when you say that? He's like, well, we need to redo all of it. And the guy's like, what part of it don't you like? And he's like, well, you know, the whole thing. And he's like, walk me through it top to bottom, Elon. And he's like, get this asshole out of the call. He has no clue what he's talking about.
I don't know why he keeps like having him on. Like, he's just...
No, the way he named his children is odd. It is odd. It's definitely different. But I mean, whatever. That's his prerogative.
He's fucking but yeah, he's a fraud, dude. Like Greg Reese like did a whole thing on him, like exposing like everything that he did is like other people did the work and just comes in and takes credit for it.
Have you seen the videos of some people in like these self-driving cars where they like stop in the middle of the intersection? It's like, oh, I guess we have to get out now because they I think it was in Austin. They started trying the Tesla self-driving.
Oh yes. That's
The autopilot.
fucking retarded, man. Yeah, everything.
Autonomous means water.
Is cooked, but I like, again, as critical as I am of him, I know why he has a right
I would never trust a car with no driver to drive me around. I don't care.
to be pissed off with the whole Trump thing, like with the big beautiful bill, because like he put all this time and money into Doge, didn't get paid for it, lost hundreds of billions of dollars in net worth, and boom, like nothing to show for it.
Yeah,
literally nothing to show for it. Investors all pissed off. You got to go back to work and work a full work week, like. Yeah, cooked.
I know you mentioned video games. You guys disagree strongly on video games. Last time you came on the show,
that would definitely suck for Elon Musk.
said you got to make $100K a year to start playing video games as a man.
Yeah, I don't think a guy should even bother with playing video games unless he's making 6 figures a year. Because like you're not making 6 figures a year and you're old. You have too much free time. You need to make at least 6 figures before you play any video games.
Do you agree with that?
No, I think you should life has to be a balance. Some people are designed to fucking grind. I remember the first time I went to the fucking Fresh and Fit studio. This fucking autistic retard, he's walking around like every camera adjusting everything, and I'm like, he's got like the grind. Like this guy will stay up like 16 hours a day learning whatever he needs to learn. But for a lot of people, you need like a little bit of free time. The problem with gaming is just it's a thing that's easy to overindulge in.
Right.
And like if you're
yeah, it can definitely be easy to overindulge in.
playing, like 8 hours a day and you're doing whatever.
And that's the problem because it's a slippery slope, dude. Like they don't have the discipline to go out and work. So like, do you think they're gonna have the discipline to like, I've been playing for like 20 hours. Let me like get up and do something. It's like, no, make the money first, learn the discipline there. Then like you can go to play video games.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a bit. Well, this will actually add to your argument here. Like the reason why so many guys like struggle with women is because they're fucking losers. Like let's be honest here. Like they're not achieving what they need to achieve. And again, though I'm critical of feminism and women being hoes and everything else like that. A big part of it is like,
that's just not what I've done yet. I'm doing current events and political stuff right now because that's the topic that is more intriguing right now.
like, well, I got to make my own money because a lot of guys are fucking losers. So
Sure.
that's why, because dudes are lazy.
Yeah.
So
And it's hard nowadays. Like we don't talk about it.
And there's a lot going on with these type of content and the current events that it's easy videos to do.
As much, but when it comes to technology, like the issue today is like you are competing, like this show, everything else, you are competing with everything else in the world at all points in time because of the phone, right? Everything you do, you have to be able to capture somebody's attention away from a game, from a phone, from whatever else, and it's hard without, you have to discipline yourself at an early age to not be sucked into that because video games are designed, it's like gambling almost, like it's optimally designed to suck
and they're
as much
worse now.
time away.
They're way
You finish
worse
like
now.
like a Call of Duty game, and it's like I just got 47 experience towards this gun, and I got 27 battle points towards my past, and I got 48 things to do here, and I got to queue up to the next fucking game, and it's like, yeah.
I'm playing Marvel vs. Rivals. Like, I can see why people get addicted to it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I always play it like after I'm done streaming and everything, and I'll play it on stream, so it's like makes sense.
Sure.
So like I set up like little things here to make sure I don't like fuck myself up.
Yeah, you guys monetize it when you play video games.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah, like if I'm
But
gonna
even
play.
that, like I view games are kind of like drugs. I think drugs are like good, like it's like a recreational like enhancement thing. But
drugs are like good for like a recreational enhancement thing. Cool.
if it becomes like habitual, it's not good. Like I don't think there's anything bad about it. If you want to smoke weed on the weekend or if you're hanging out with friends or whatever, that's one thing. But if you're doing something every single day and it's like part of your routine, that can get really scary. I think. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what are your views on like feminism now?
Probably
general.
the same as they were before, except I hate women a little bit more now. So.
You
All I say is when I hook up with a chick, I'll be like, "Did you vote Trump or somebody
Would you
else?"
agree that women suck
And if
at
they
most?
vote- if they
Would
voted
you
for
agree
Trump,
that
then
women
I'm
suck at most things then?
like the women suck at most things.
No, yeah, I don't think either of them are against video games. I think they just both think that you shouldn't spend tons of time on video games. Like you shouldn't be spending 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, 20 hours a day on video games. Which, yeah, I mean, if you don't have nothing going for yourself and you're spending that much time on video games, then yeah, you got your priorities backwards.
Things I probably would, but I'd also say men suck at most things. So
Okay, well, I think women suck at most things. It's give you credit. All the girls that try to do what you do, they suck at what they suck.
when I hang out with progressive women, usually they like the fact that I'm more aggressive or masculine coded or whatever in my demeanor. When I hang out with conservative women, though, they're like, I like.
It means, like, I don't care about your judgments, brother. That's what it means. It means I don't care for your judgments.
Somebody who's not like a fucking loser, because like conservative guys will say like all these women are sluts and hoes and shit, but it's like if you're a conservative woman and you walk into a area
On my channel, I make my videos about what I want to make my videos about.
and you're like, okay, well, we're all these like good conservative men who are working hard, saving themselves, like doing all this other shit.
You want to watch certain types of videos and you want to see certain types, go make your own. Over here, I will make the videos that I want to make.
You can't find them either, so like we all deserve each other.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, well, it's a fine because a lot of guys like subscribe to the whole feminist ideology, egalitarianism, whatever. So I think that's a big problem for women because on one end they want to be strong and independent and be their own woman, but at the same time it's like, well, I want a guy that's going to have conservative values, and like unfortunately the two
don't coexist. Women want equal everything, but then they want men to take care of them. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You need to be able to decide which way you want to go.
Difficult to mesh together, because like a guy that's conservative, that's more traditional, typically isn't going to want a girl that's more, you know, independent and, you know, believing in feminism and
Maybe if
egalitarianism.
the Orthodox APAC people buy out the whole government, they can push us towards a more traditional lifestyle.
APAC's done already. Damn, bought out the whole freaking thing. They got 93 of the 100 seats in the Senate. 93 out of 100 seats in the Senate are funded by APAC. That's what I mean by Israel has way too much influence on American politics.
Well, they won't accept
And that's just a bigger issue.
any of us. We're all goyim to them. Like they're gonna be like, we got to end them all. So it is what it
Myron,
is.
could you be with a liberal, and Destiny, can you be with a conservative, dating wise?
Like a real relationship or just
Real relationship.
Nah,
It's
like,
a deal breaker for you.
And no.
I wouldn't be able to, because like she would think she's equal to me, and I have to remind her all the time that she's inferior.
Of course, Myron would go there. So if you've ever seen his channel, then yeah, you would definitely know that that's his stance.
It really depends on like
I'm
where.
glad that Destiny's.
Destiny, yeah, you wouldn't mind being overpowered and being the female of the relationship. We could tell.
Well, red pill a lot of women though. This is fucking like, you don't understand how excited I am.
It really depends on like, I think, on where the disagreements are. Like I think there are some things that you can get over, and there are some things that you probably can't. Like if you've got somebody who's genuinely like massively pro trans with somebody who's like massively like super racist or something, I don't know. Like these people are probably not going to get along meaningfully. And then it depends on how far you go in the relationship too. Like I could be with somebody probably who's like Christian or religious, but like if we were to have kids, that would get a lot harder, because it's like like how, yeah. So I don't know. It depends. I don't think you need, if you need 100% ideological alignment with your partner, I think that's a problem. You should be able to have some disagreements, but it's going to have to be certain types of disagreements. Like some are irreconcilable and others are, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, like again, yeah, small disagreements here and there, but yeah, I think in general, you know, the man's worldview has to prevail over the woman's worldview. And or if she, let's say she doesn't have those worldviews when you guys first meet, at some point she's got to be amenable to change her mind. Because I think if the woman's worldview dominates the relationship, you're cooked. That's what I think.
I disagree. I think
you disagree with that?
I think there's going to be a meet in the middle, but I mean,
You think meeting in the middle is the way to go?
probably, yeah.
So my only problem with like meeting in the middle, maybe it's because I'm a raging misogynist, I don't know. I think women are inferior to men. So I don't think like, and when I say this, I mean it like from a relationship paradigm, like not from a human rights perspective, but like from a relationship paradigm.
Oh, you mean it from both, Myron.
Like I look at it like if she's the authority and she's the one leading the relationship, it's just inevitably going to lead to into problems. Whereas like if it's your frame, like
Because they're generally mostly emotional based, like decision making, instead of logical decision making, which is a big factor.
it's more natural for it to follow you. Does that make sense? So like versus.
I mean, it depends on, real quick, when are we supposed to be out of here?
We got 6 minutes.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to like,
This might be opening up a can of worms then.
yeah. It has to be grounded out in examples. Like I don't agree with that, like leading the relationship thing, because I think that different people lead in areas depending on where they excel at. So for instance, like a man might be leading in terms of like, you know, he works a
Yeah, he might be fine with being the at-home daddy. Myron is not.
certain job, and so he's going to dictate the family schedule, maybe even like where you live to some extent if he's going to move for work. But like I seriously doubt the man is going to be like telling the woman, this is the grocery list, you need to buy these things for the household, or you need to do this, or like you have to make sure they go to school and all that. Like the woman will be like a leader in that area.
course.
Like in areas where you butt heads, I would be surprised if a relationship survives very long if there's like a constant like one person wants this and the other person's like,
Let me
no, we're doing
clarify.
this, bitch.
Let me clarify, because yes, you're correct. My position is anything significant that needs to be done, the man needs to be the main decision maker. And then, like I see what you're saying, like delegate authority. She does this, she does that, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, like she's operating like when she's grocery shopping. I'm buying the food that my husband likes and the kids like. I'm buying what he likes. So. Though she is the
But
one
also,
making
like, the
the
man is
decision.
like, I'm earning the money that my family likes to fucking spend. You know, come on. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but that's your duty as the man, is to support the family. But like my thing is, I think
Definitely.
the general frame of the relationship has to be controlled by the
like, I'm
man.
curious, like, what is like one, like, give me an example of like a big disagreement issue on that? Because for a lot of these, I would view these as being basically relationship enders if you have a significant disagreement here.
Okay, so like when you say that, you mean as in like what would like if I disagreed on this, I wouldn't fuck with her at all?
What, no, like if a man and a woman, where the woman has to follow the man's lead on something they disagree on, like what would be an example issue like that? Where it's both in their domain, where they both have a strong opinion on it, but the woman eventually has to acquiesce to the man. Like what would an example topic be for that?
Oh yeah, sure. Politics.
Is it how she votes, or
well, women. I don't think women should. But that was actually on the list. I don't think women should vote. I know you probably disagree with that.
probably? Yeah.
I think we should repeal the 19th
Probably, yeah.
Amendment. But and I can give my position why. But like for example, if she like doesn't align with you politically or ideologically, like on certain cultural things, like that's a deal breaker. Like if she, like if she's like a raging Democrat, right, and you're a conservative, like that's probably going to create problems for you in the
But
future.
these would probably be deal breakers to date, period.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like she's got to be on the thing.
Issue where it's like the woman strongly believes one thing and the man strongly believes another. Like, let's say that like you've got family in Arkansas, family in Nebraska, and you guys live in Iowa, and it's like, okay, 50-50, we need to figure out where we want to move, and one side's just like, we're going here or it's over. Like, I don't think there's ever a world where it's like, oh, the woman's like, okay, yeah, we'll go live with your family. I agree with that 100%. Like,
yeah, I would think the man needs to make the decision there. But the thing is that when he picks where his move, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be because of where he works, right? So like it's for the betterment of the.
So that's what I'm trying to think of. Like when you say the woman follows the man, like on what issue? Like what is like a thing they could have a disagreement on where
she wouldn't follow him?
Where she has to follow him.
Where she has to?
Because it feels like everything that you're following the man on, the husband's going to be following the woman on, like on the things that she's doing, and then she's following him on the things that he's doing. Like where are these disagreements? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I'm a little confused by
it. When you say the woman has to follow the man, the implication is that both of them might have an opinion on the same thing, but the woman has to acquiesce to the man's opinion on it. So I'm asking, like, what topic could that ever be?
Well, she's also following because she has the same worldview too.
Okay,
it's not like she's like,
oh
my God, like it's not like dragging her
in the same path. Then you're not really,
like she agrees with the worldview, which is why it's so much easier for her to follow. But let's say there is to answer your question, let's say there's a discrepancy in worldview. At the end of the day, even if she doesn't like it, she's got to follow him. Is my position.
Sure. I'm just curious,
versus
like,
the other way around.
Example, like what worldview, like what topic, subject, thing?
It could be. Okay, let's say they both have a job, right?
Yeah.
Like, my job is here, your job is here. We got to move though because I make more money here. She needs to follow the man, even though, and be willing to sacrifice her career for him.
I would agree with what you say there, but there was an important added thing that you put there, which is because he makes more money. So, like, do you think that the same thing would follow? Let's say a guy's working, he's 40, 50K a year, and she's doing some nice HR job, she's making 120 a year, and the guy's like, I've got an opportunity to make 60,000 a year, we got to move. Does the woman be like, yeah?
Well, this is where I come in, where I say
women shouldn't have more money than.
Yeah, you need to make more money than your girl. So, like, that wouldn't even happen in my worldview because it's like you need to make enough money. My position is you need to make so much goddamn money where she works off of wanting to do it, and it's a job where it's from home. So it's elective. I don't think women should be in the workplace when she's with you. From a position where she has to. It needs to be elective. And I think whenever a woman makes more money than her man, it just creates problems.
Okay. I disagree, but it's a whole, obviously.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, that is a whole. I mean, we could do a part 2 on that if you want. We could do a feminism or relationship debate if you want.
Well, have fun with your anti-Trump.
I think Myron does that a lot on his podcast. He does a lot of those type of conversations and talks. For sure.
Tour and have fun on the street.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Destiny, it's always good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
All right, so that is the end of that debate. Let me get my server back up here. All right, here. All right. I don't think anybody can make anybody quiet real quick. I think I'm the only one that has that power in here to be able to make anybody quiet. I think I hold the only power in this channel to do that. But that's besides the point. All right, so that was a pretty decent debate as it got on. The first half of that debate was a little bit boring. They agreed a lot. So the first half of it was more of like them just finding out that they agreed on a lot of shit as each other, and then had very small differences. And then as the debate got further on, they definitely started to have more differences, and there was more of an actual debate aspect. I think Saturday, I'm going to do a little bit of the Candace Owens video where she had a dream that Charlie came to her, because I want to watch that video, and I'd like to watch it with you guys, see what you guys think on it as well, for sure. So I'll probably get that video loaded up for Saturday. But yeah. Sounds like a bunch of meaningless conversations in the chat. But hey, it's all good. It's been all right. We've had a decent night tonight. Hopefully y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay great. Don't stay up too late. I'm Real Roz, and we're about to head out.